Good morning. Thank you everyone for being here at 7:30 this morning to start. This is our online leadership electives course from District 56. This is a 4-part series this morning. The first session is Zoom Basics for Beginners, Infants. And I wanted to go over a little bit of some housekeeping rules. I'm Elizabeth Ruiz, and I am the host for today. I'm the Online Leadership Electives Chair. We wanted to go over a few protocols. We wanted to make sure that we all keep our audio and video on during the pre-training, but during the training, they asked to disable your audio and video unless our instructor would like your audio and video on. The instructor will share that with you. And when you're speaking, make sure you enable the audio. But if you lose your connection, we will allow you back in. Just log back in with the same registration code and you will be back on. And please remember our Toastmaster core values: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. And we just needed to mention that any disruptive behavior in any form, you'll receive one warning before being removed from the training. And with that said, I would love to introduce to you our distinguished Toastmaster, Carolyn Charney.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to start off with introducing you, Caroline, and then you can take it away.
All righty.
Carolyn has been a student of Toastmasters since 2016, but she has been an avid learner her whole life. She is a former teacher, she's an assistant principal and a youth minister, and she brings enthusiasm and humor to all of her presentations. As a project and program manager, she is structured and organized in her implementation. Carolyn Charney is our facilitator today. Get ready for a highly interactive and fun program this morning for the next 4 hours. Carolyn, the meeting room is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Go ahead and turn your, if you would please, go ahead and turn your video and your, turn your video on. And if you're going to speak, you need to turn your audio on.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it's hard to say good morning if you don't turn your audio on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. You all must know this. I love you dearly. It is 7:30 on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
7:30 on a Saturday morning. All righty. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
It has a wonderfully touched up picture of me. And then there's 4 little pictures underneath it. And I'm going to explain those. The name of this class is Growing and Learning Through Pathways, Infancy to Middle School, I think that's what I called it. Or Adolescents, that's it. Infants through Adolescents, right there on the slide. But it is a Saturday morning at 7:30. So the reason I did that is this class is divided into 4 sections. Each hour is a different section. So the first hour will be the infants part, where we're going to do Zoom Basics for Beginners. The second hour will be our toddler session, where we're going to explore the international website. The third hour will be Elementary Explorers, and this is where we're going to start talking about pathways. And then the 4th hour, I called it Middle School Madness. We're all going to go to base camp. We're actually going to sign up for a path if we haven't already and get started. So the purpose of this class is to help people get comfortable enough to sign up for a path in Pathways and get started. I started with Zoom because in this day and age, so much is being done over the internet and through the platforms like Zoom. I will say this, I am very comfortable in Zoom. I'm also very comfortable in Teams. I have used Citrix and I have used a couple others. The programs are very similar. So what you learn today may not be exactly what you would see in a WebEx or in some other format, but the concepts are the same. And once you get comfortable in one platform, I think you will find that it's easier to play around enough in the other platforms that you get comfortable there too. This is going to be an interactive session. So if you're sleeping, I just warn you now, no sleeping, because this will be interactive. I will call on people. If you need to step away, please do. At the end of each session, we'll take like a 5 or 6 minute break so that people can go get another cup of coffee if they need to, or head off to the bathroom. I do ask, if you are on your cell phone, don't take us to the bathroom with you. We don't need to go there. Just let us, turn off your video, hang it to the side. We'll come back to you. All right, everybody awake and ready to get started?
Yes.
So our first hour is called Infants, Zoom Basics for Beginners, and you can see my little baby picture up there. Those are all actual pictures of me. I know y'all are excited about that. Probably not as excited as my mother, but there you go. We're going to accomplish 3 things in this hour. We're going to get started with Zoom. We're going to practice our screen arrangements and sharing. Yep, I'm going to have you sharing your screen. And we'll actually give people a chance to try that. Now, some of you I know were with me on Wednesday night. Yeah. So if I know you were with me on Wednesday night, what I'm probably going to do is ask the other people to practice first, and then if other people need to, I'm happy to do that. But we want to give the folks that I haven't seen do it before a chance to do it so that we know they're on board with us. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, just for my own sake, I know Marie, you were with me on Wednesday. Ellie, you were with me on Wednesday. Everybody else, I think, is new to our group. Yeah. Oh, Brent, you were with us last time. Were you with us last time, Brent?
No, I was not.
No, you were not. Okay. All right. So, first steps first. Everybody, you got your coffee or your orange juice or whatever it is you need? All right. I have mine, so if you need to take a drink
Cheers.
of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. The other thing I need to warn you about is that, as you can see, I'm sitting in a nice comfy chair in my living room. I have dogs, and they periodically decide to come be my office assistant in the chair. So if you see a dog head pop up in the middle of my view, don't panic, I'm not being attacked. I actually have one of my office assistants here with me now. She's laying very quietly off to the side. That's Babs. You will probably see her at least once poke her little head up to say hello. Should a thunderstorm come through, you will no doubt meet Gooch. He is an 80-pound dog who will then try to sit in my lap as well. At which point we will call for help from the rest of the house so that somebody else can babysit him during a thunderstorm. All righty. Some basic controls. On your Zoom screen, in the let's start with this. Everybody raise your right hand. Let's make sure everybody has their right hand. You know your right hand? Okay, that's good. And now your left hand? Very good. Okay, it's always good to know your right from your left, because some of the directions I'm going to give today are going to be in terms of right and left. So on the lower left-hand part of your screen, you should see 2 little symbols. One of them is going to be a microphone, and one of them is going to be a video camera. If these icons have red lines through them, we can't hear or see you. So if you have a little red line through your microphone and you start talking, we will not be able to hear what you say. If you have a red line through your video camera, we can't see you. So for example, right now, we don't see Brent. We don't see, is it Sommelier? You're going to have to pronounce that one for me.
Salome.
I'm sorry?
Salome.
Salini. Okay.
Salome.
Saloni. And you're from London?
That's correct. Good afternoon
Wow.
from London.
Good afternoon from London. All righty. Now, are you from District 56, or you just decided to join us for fun?
Lovely Charlotte invited me to the training session, so I have her to thank or blame. Depends
Or
how
blame,
you look at it.
whichever way. Starla is lovely. Well, welcome to you.
Thank you.
Let me think. If it's 7:30 here, okay, it's later in the day for you, so you're already
It's
awake.
1:30. Yeah.
Yeah, you've already had lunch. Okay.
In the middle of having lunch, so.
In the middle of having lunch. All right.
Hence the video being off.
It is, hence the video being off. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you in a few moments. All right, very good.
Thank you.
can find those buttons for the microphone and the video. The icons may look a little different in other forums, but it's going to be essentially the same thing. During our session, I do talk to you, so I don't mind if you keep your microphone on, but if there's background noise, we do ask you to turn it off, just so that we don't all have to hear whatever's going on in the background of your home. A couple other things to go over. Across the bottom of your screen, you're going to see one that has heads on it, and it says participants. That will, if you click on that, it will open a window over to the side, usually on the right-hand side, and it'll give you a list of the participants. Typically, you're listed as the first one, and then the host, which in our case is Elizabeth, and then any co-hosts like myself would be listed, and then anybody else in the meeting. So it's an easy place to go see. At the bottom of the participants window, you're going to see some gestures that you can use. Raising your hand, answering yes or no, cues to me to go slower or to go faster. That is all there. So those are some of the responses you can give. There is often a time, there's another one at the bottom of your screen for responses, and it usually only has the clapping and the thumbs up. So if you want more responses, like being able to raise your hand, open the participants window. Next to the participants button is the share screen. Now that's going to be important because at different times today, different people are going to be sharing their screen. How do you make something online interactive? You let them show you what they're seeing on their screen. So some places I'm going to be touring and showing you, and other places you're going to be showing me that you can find things. The chat button, if you click on the chat box, again, it will usually open up over to the side on the right-hand side, and you are welcome to join and to share chats with us. We love hearing and seeing what's going on. I try to keep up with that. That's also why Elizabeth is here, so she can nudge me if I forget to look at the chat window. The last button I'd like to show you is over on the far right-hand side at the bottom. It says leave the meeting. Please do not push that button on purpose unless you really want to leave the meeting. Okay? If you need to leave, certainly we understand, but pushing that button on accident only causes frustration for you. The rest of us, we don't know. All right, I need everybody to turn their microphones on now because we're going to practice something. I need everybody to do your very best beep.
Beep.
Beep, 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 beep.
All right, so for those of you from Wednesday, you know what this is all about. Here is the worst thing your computer can do to you. It can beep at you. If your computer beeps at you, beep back. All right, that's it. Just beep back at it. I know some folks are a little afraid they're going to do something terribly wrong. I assure you that in what we're doing today, you're probably not going to do anything that is going to be any worse than a beep from your computer, in which case I encourage you to beep back. If you beep and we hear it, we can all applaud. Yay, you beeped back. All right, so no reason to be afraid in what we're doing today. All right, I'm almost through with my introductory slides and then we'll get started. The first part of our session today is really about getting comfortable with Zoom. And in Zoom, there are 3 modes for viewing. The first one is what they call the active speaker mode, and that is the default mode, where typically you're going to see the speaker, in this case it would be a picture of me instead of this nice looking lady, but you would see the person that's talking in a big picture, and then you'll see the other participants in little windows above. That's called the speaker mode. Another mode is gallery view. And that's where instead of seeing one picture prominently, you see all the people in the meeting in little boxes. So speaker view, gallery view. And these are words that we're going to be using throughout the day today. Speaker, one big screen, lots of little pictures, or gallery view where everybody's the same size, all little pictures. The third mode that I'm going to introduce you to today is called side by side. Now, side by side is unique to when somebody is presenting. So, look, for example, right now, while I'm presenting, if you were with us on Wednesday, you could put this in side by side mode. If you try to find side by side mode when nobody's presenting, you can't find it. And that's because side by side is only available when somebody is presenting. The whole idea of side by side is to put the presentation on the side of your view of the speakers. If you didn't know this and you've been looking for side-by-side mode, please do not feel bad. Prominent members of Toastmaster Society have called and asked me, how do I get into side-by-side mode? I can't find it. And I would explain to them that unless there's a presentation on, you can't find side-by-side mode. It won't be there. You have to have somebody presenting something to find side-by-side mode. So how do we switch between all of these? And how do we find them? We're going to practice that in just a moment, but let me show you the basics. If you're in speaker mode, up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see something that looks a little bit like a tic-tac-toe board. If you click on, when you look at it, it says gallery view. You click on that and it's going to give you the gallery view, all the little pictures. If you're in gallery view where you have multiple pictures, it now says speaker view. And to me, the best way I can describe that little picture is it looks like the old movie clappers, you know, when they would do a scene shot in a movie. Has the big picture and then the three little pictures. So what it's showing you is what you're going to see, not what you're currently seeing. So if you're in gallery, it shows you the speaker view because that's what you could change to. If you're in speaker view, it shows you the gallery view because that's what you could change to. The third view, which you will be able to try now because I am presenting, is called side by side. And my slide for this actually gives you all 3 steps to side by side. When somebody is presenting, you're going to see a little note up at the top of the screen that says you are viewing somebody's screen. In my case, in your case, it should say right now that you are viewing Carolyn Charney's screen. And right next to that, there's a little button that'll pop down and it says View Options. If you click on that button right now, you will see some options. And scroll or go down to where it says Side by Side. So step 1, find the view options. Step 2, go down to side by side. Once you're in side by side mode, you're going to see this little, I don't know what you're going to call it. It's 2 vertical lines. You're going to find that, click on it and you can drag over and make the presentation smaller and the view of the people bigger, or you can make the presentation bigger by dragging it to the right and the view of the people smaller. This is what they call side-by-side mode. Now in side-by-side mode, you can do both speaker and gallery. If you're in side-by-side speaker, you'll only see one person here. If you're in side-by-side gallery, you're going to see multiple people here. That was a lot of information. So now we're going to check it out and see how you're doing. I'm going to stop sharing and we're going to give you a chance. Well, I guess we won't do that quite yet. I was going to give you a chance to share, but I haven't told you how to do that yet. Is there anybody that's having trouble seeing side-by-side, speaker, or gallery? Everybody good with those?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Then we can move on. All right. I have one other tool in my tool. Okay, sorry.
I'm on an iPad, so I'm limited on some of these items, just so you'll know.
Yeah,
Okay.
the iPad is a little more limited. I pulled mine out today. I need to play with that a little bit more and see if I can get more comfortable with it. But I think you're right. I did have somebody tell me they could go from speaker to gallery on their iPhone and their iPad, but I'm not sure if the side-by-side mode is always available. I think it depends on what OS you're running.
Okay,
So,
great.
yeah.
I've been able to use all the key features at this point during our
Sure.
meetings. Just wanted to let you know in case
Yeah.
you see I'm not making any movements.
There you go. I appreciate it, Letitia. Thank you very much. Yes. All right. The other tool that I'm going to use today, so if anybody gets motion sickness, I apologize, is I have a setup where I can turn my computer around and show you what I see. So this is my laptop that I'm using, and periodically today what I'm going to do is show you what I see, because as I told you earlier, what I see is a little different than what you see. So you're seeing my presentation. I don't see that. I don't see what you see. I see that my presentation on one place, and then just I've got the gallery view of you guys. I could make it a speaker view if I wanted to. Okay. So it's a little different for me. So periodically today, if somebody's having trouble, what I may do is turn my computer around and let you see what I see. Okay. All righty. And the light in my living room is coming in a little funny, so I apologize if I wash out. I don't have curtains up there. All right, the next thing that we want to do is get comfortable with all of you changing modes, getting from gallery to speaker, and then being able to share. I have one caution on sharing. We're going to practice that. The deal with sharing is that you pick what you want to share, but make sure that you want to share what you pick. I say that because in my case, I have 3 screens going. And if I'm not careful, instead of showing you my presentation, I can end up showing you my email or my calendar or whatever else I have up on my screen. So you want to be careful, and this is one of the things we go over and have people practice, is that you're sharing what you think you're sharing. Now, I know none of you are watching anything on your second screen that you wouldn't want us to see, but it is much better if you actually are sharing what you think you're sharing instead of just some random item on your screen. All right. So this is where we will start practicing and giving you a chance to come along with us. When I mentioned earlier the controls, I pointed out this little green button that says share screen. Does everybody see that little green button on their screen? Is there anybody who can't find that? Everybody's got it? That's the button we're going to be using. Okay, the sun is now directly in my eyeballs. Let me duck around here, get out of the way of my sun. So what we're going to do is take turns sharing our screen so that I know each one of you is able to share your screen. Now, why am I going to do that? Because as we go on through the day and you tell me, but Carolyn, when I do this, you're not going to have to explain it to me. You're going to be able to show it to me because you're going to be able to show me your screen and we'll see what you see. Babs, this might not be a good time. All right. So we're going to start with, let's start with Brent. Brent, I would like for you, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I would like for you to share your screen and show us what you have on your screen. Click on the little green button. It should be towards the middle of the bottom of your screen. Sometimes those buttons go away unless you move your mouse down that direction. When you first click on that button, it's going to bring up a window and ask you, what do you want to share? How many screens do you have, Brent? Do you have 1, 2, 3? How many screens do you have?
I have 8 screens.
8 screens. Wow.
Yes.
All right. So you must have a lot of things open on your desktop.
You're correct, I do, yes.
Okay, so what you actually have is, at least one of those is for a true screen view, and the others are going to be options of which programs or things that you have open on your desktop you want us to see.
Agreed.
Okay, so pick one, tell us what you think you're going to share, and then we'll tell you if that's what we see.
What I think I'm going to share is, it's titled Q51 2020-0713.
Okay.
It's an Excel sheet of the clubs that are in my area.
Okay, let's see if that's what we all see. You started sharing. So far, I don't have anything coming up yet.
It says my screen sharing is paused.
It is paused.
Yes.
Okay, go up to the top of your screen.
Uh-huh.
Is the pause button on up there?
No, it is not. I have a resume share.
Resume share, there you go.
So I stop, and then should I resume again?
Yeah. It acts like you're trying, that you paused while you were sharing. Because what I'm seeing now, let me just show you. I
Okay.
see where your presentation should be, and then I have the gallery view next to it. It says that
Okay.
you are sharing, but if you've got, click the resume share button.
Trying to get to it. I clicked it. Still says it's paused.
Well, I wonder why you're paused. haven't had that before. I've seen the pause button when I have shared, and then if I click resume sharing, it usually goes right back to that. Let me try something. I'm going to kick you out.
Okay.
So if you will stop sharing, let me see if I can
Just stop.
replicate. I'm going to see if I can replicate what you got. So if I share, so this is what I see when I share. I have this little bar up at the top. Oops, wait a minute. Let me get you to where you can see that little green bar up at the top.
Yeah.
And I can come up here and I have pause share. It says my screen sharing is paused. But then if I click on that little green triangle up there, it says resume share.
Yeah.
It goes back to sharing. And yours is not doing that?
I didn't, when you pause share, I didn't see anything change on my screen.
So right now, I've paused sharing. You don't see anything change on your screen?
No, I do not.
Anybody else see anything change on their screen? Can you see what's on? What are you seeing now? Are you seeing the what/who will you see slide? Or do you just see the people? Huh.
I'm seeing what/who you see, active speaker, gallery view, and side by side.
Well, that's very interesting. So apparently pause doesn't actually pause.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting. So then hitting resume doesn't change anything.
No, it does not.
All right. Well, I think we might have found a bug for Zoom. Let's give it a try with somebody else, Brent. Let me come back to you. We'll see what we can figure out. Ellie, you were able to do this on Wednesday. Let's see if you're able to do it today.
Okay.
I need to stop sharing.
All right. I'm clicking on share screen. And I will just share my opening screen. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. We see
I see it.
explore more images on Bing. Very
Correct.
good. Okay.
Yeah. And now, how do I go back?
Go up to the top of your screen where it says stop sharing.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank
All right. Yay, Ellie. All right. Robert, you want to give it a shot?
Sure.
Tell us what you think you're going to share, and then we'll tell you if that's what we actually see.
Okay. I think I'm going to share my pathways screen.
Okay. Perfect.
It's on.
Perfect. All right. Now, Robert, you don't see it yet, Brent?
I do see it, yes.
Oh, very good. Very good. Okay. So, Robert, I'm going to ask you to leave yours on for just a second.
Okay.
And we're gonna play a game. Charla, are you in gallery view or speaker view?
I am in gallery view.
Change it to speaker view while you're in side by side, just so you know you can.
Okay. I see you, Carolyn.
There you go. And now you can change it back to gallery view.
Yes.
Very good. Marie.
Yes.
Are you in gallery view or speaker view?
I can't see myself anywhere right now.
Okay. Do you see Robert's presentation?
Yes.
Do you see a person to the side?
Yes, that's you.
That's me. Go up to your right. And now you see the little box up there that has like the tic-tac-toe board in it?
Yeah, the gallery view. So I'm going to click on that.
And now you should see more people.
Yes.
There you go. So gallery view and speaker view. Everybody try that while you're in side by side. And it's up to you whether you feel like you want to have it in gallery or whether you want it to be in speaker view. Whatever's more comfortable for you. When I'm presenting, I like to have the gallery view because I like to be able to see everybody's faces. But when you're speaking, sometimes if you're listening to a speaker, it's less distracting if you just have the speaker on. Now let me tell you why you might want to have gallery view on even when you're speaking. If you're in a Zoom meeting for your team, I'm sorry, for your club, and your timer is going to use timing slides. You may want to have it on gallery view so that you can see the timer, and then when they flash the slides, they have the different backgrounds, the red, the yellow, the green, you'll be able to see them. So that's one way to do that. There we go, Brent's. Thank you, Brent, for demonstrating the red, yellow, and green for us. I appreciate that. Very good. All right, so that's one way to do
Caroline,
that.
how do I get it on speaker view for just me speaking? Do I just click on speaker view?
If
and
you click on speaker view and you are talking, it will show you. If I'm talking, it's going to show me.
Oh, okay.
So you talk for a couple of minutes. Tell us
Okay.
a story.
I'm going to tell you that I'm going to share my screen and put a PowerPoint on.
Okay, so we'll
I
need
have
for
to click
Robert
on
to
the
take his off first.
Yeah, but it's okay. Now I see you on the screen.
Okay, because do you have it on speaker view or gallery view?
I have gallery view.
Then you should see all of us.
Yes, now I'm seeing all of you.
There you go.
Okay, now I'm going to put it on speaker view, but it comes to you all the time. Prefers you.
Even when you're talking?
Yes, even when I'm talking, it's still showing you.
So you may have me pinned.
No, I haven't pinned you.
You haven't pinned me.
No, I haven't pinned you.
Hmm.
Let me see if I pin myself, what happens.
Okay, pin yourself.
Oh, if I pin myself, then I'm up here.
There you go.
Otherwise, I'm not. So I got to unpin myself somehow.
Or just pin somebody else or go to gallery view.
Yeah, we're on gallery view now.
There you go. All right, so we just introduced a new term that some people may not know, and that's pinning.
Yeah.
While we're sitting here and there's nobody sharing, if you go to speaker view, that's where you have the big box and the little boxes across the top.
Yes.
So your screen should look like this.
Yes.
Okay, so we see Maria and mine.
Okay.
All right.
That's speaker view. Yes.
That's speaker view. Now let's practice pinning other people. Everybody find Joe Copeland. Find the picture of Joe, handsome man with some headsets on.
Yes.
You're going to find a little blue box with 3 dots in it. Click on that little box with 3 dots, and it gives you the option to either chat with Joe or pin his video. And if you pin his video, then he becomes the main person on the screen, even if somebody else is talking. So when you pin a speaker, what happens is that person becomes the center of your screen. So if I pin Letitia now, Letitia is the center of my screen. If I want to see somebody, hey, there we go. If I want to see somebody who's not visible at the top here, I can just click on this little arrow. It'll take me to the side, and then we can go find somebody else. So, oh, let's pin Joe Ido. Come on, Joe, show us your video. Hey, there she is. So now we're going to pin Joe, and she'll be in the center of our screen. So take a minute and practice pinning different people right now. You all wave and make faces at each other so that they know they've got you. Shirley, I'm going to pin you now. You ready? Boom, there you are. There she is. Okay, now if I want to go back to gallery view, all I have to do is come up to the corner where it says gallery view. I see that tic-tac-toe board and click on it. All right? Very good. Okay, so now we were practicing screen shares. Let's see. Missy, you want to give it a shot and share your screen? Tell us what you think you're going to share and then try it.
Lost.
And Missy says she's having trouble with the volume. Missy, can you not hear us, or you don't think we can hear you?
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, right now your speaker is muted, Missy. So in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see a microphone. It probably has a red hash mark through it. If you unmute. Let's see if I've got you muted somehow.
So when I was
Oh, there you are.
sharing, I couldn't see that bottom part, so that's why I didn't unshare. But I thought I was sharing my Bing screen, and then that bottom bar went away.
The bottom bar will go away, but if you go down towards it, you should be able to find it again. If you move your cursor down, it should be there again. You want to go try it?
No, I was just saying when I'm in meetings,
Mm-hmm.
and I if the speaker's speaking really loud, I don't know how to adjust it. But maybe what you just said, I need to go down toward it. That might fix it.
Okay, so the volume on computers is going to be different, and the way you adjust your volume is going to be different depending upon not only your computer, but how you're getting your video or your audio. So for example, for me on my headset, I have a way to adjust my volume on the headset. If you're getting your volume through your computer screen, there may be either a little dial that you can actually dial up, dial down, or on many laptops, if you look across the top of your keyboard, there'll be keys that look like a speaker and it looks like it's getting louder, and another one that looks like it's getting softer, and those are the adjustments for your volume on your. Oh, Ellie just made a discovery. She found the volume buttons on her screen, on her keys, didn't you? It's so fun to watch people find things. So as far as the volume on anybody's individual computer, that's kind of tough to say. But what I can do is let me share my screen and show you one other place that you may be able to do. Who do we have sharing? Oh, somebody was sharing. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. One other place to look on your screen. I'm sharing right now just a basic screen share. You can see all sorts of clutter on my desktop here. I've got my participants view open. You can see the pictures of you guys back behind there, my presentation. But down here in the lower right-hand corner, there's a little speaker, and it says my speaker is at 34. If you click on that, you can actually adjust your volume there as well.
And at the top, it can be at the top too?
It could be at the top. It depends on where your little bar is, yeah. Now, this picture here of the speaker with the little sound vibrations coming out, look for that picture on keys at the top of your keyboard if you have a laptop. There's very often one that looks like this. It has the muted, with it down low, and then it'll be ones with more lines lit up to show that it's getting louder. Those are the keys that Ellie just discovered.
See that on the F3. Is that what you're talking about? It shows the volume?
Yes. On mine, it's on F3 as well, but other computers, it may not be on F3. And sometimes, yeah,
sorry.
It depends on your computer. Different ones are different ways. Quick story. I used to work at Dell. My father would call Dell tech support. He couldn't just call them and get help. He had to call them and tell them that I worked there and that he needed help. So then I would get these calls from the technicians afterwards. One day my father called Dell tech support, and he said he was having trouble with his computer, that he couldn't hear things. And the tech said, okay, how about if we, Dad said, no, I have tried the little button down in the lower right-hand corner. My daughter has showed me that, and that is not the problem. And the tech said, okay, well, how about if we, he said, no, I have already gone out and reloaded the driver for the speakers. That's not working. I think I need a new speaker in my computer. And the technician said, okay, but let's try. And he said, wait, I have also, and he kept interrupting the technician and telling him all the things that he had done. And finally, the technician said, sir, on your particular laptop, put your hand over on the right-hand side and find the little wheel that scrolls up and down. And my dad went, oh. There was actually a volume control on the side of his computer, and it was turned all the way down so he couldn't hear. So the moral to that story is there are a number of different ways that different computers work, and that's one of the reasons when somebody says, can you tell me how to turn the volume up on my computer? It's maybe. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. So, all right. Let's see. Who hasn't shared yet?
I haven't.
Okay, Marie, go ahead.
Oh, but now I cannot find the little thing on the bottom.
So scroll your mouse down towards the bottom of your screen and it'll magically reappear.
Yeah, I'm scrolling down, but I cannot see anything. This part is gone.
The bar at the bottom is gone?
Yes, the bar at the bottom is gone.
Yeah, my bar goes away too until I move my mouse down there and then it comes back.
Okay, no, not coming back.
Not coming back?
No. Can
Change your-
I make yours big?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, now I
Yeah.
can.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, when you changed your view, it came back. Okay.
Yes. And now I had a PowerPoint here, but I don't know where it's gone. This is yours.
That says Zoom.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought you were going to show me was Zoom?
No, no, no. I was going to show you a PowerPoint,
Okay.
but I couldn't find that. This is yours. This is your PowerPoint, right?
My PowerPoint's not on right now.
Okay.
That's your Zoom meeting screen. Just shows you that you have Zoom on somewhere on your computer. So let's talk about how we get more precise in what we're going to share. If you'll stop sharing, I'll give you another quick. Okay.
I'm stopping sharing now.
There you go. All right. So when I get ready to share my screen, I'm going to turn this around and show you again. So here you guys are on my screen. And see how my bar's gone, but if I move my mouse down towards the bottom, it comes back. Now when I share my screen, it gives me this window.
Mm-hmm.
And it says screen 1, screen 2, screen 3. That's because I have 3 screens up. So I can pick which screen I want to share. Or down here it tells me, here's my growing and learning through pathways. That's the PowerPoint, if I want to share that. This is a snip and sketch, so where I'm taking pictures. Or here is the my browser with Zoom on it, just like you had. And here is some files that I have with training photos. So it lets me pick what I want to share. And that's why I was saying earlier, pick what you want to share. Those are the basics. If you go to advanced, it gives you a couple other options. One I really like is this portion of the screen. And I use this a lot. So with portion of the screen, if I click on that and then say share, it gives me a box. Gives me a box. Let's move this around so you can see. This green box, and whatever I put inside that green box, it's going to show you. So right now it's showing you the basic control slide. But if I move that box, then you all will see whatever I put in that box. So and I can control the exact size of that box and make it so that right now, all you guys see is yourselves. Or I can get even more precise and say, we are all just going to watch the picture of Brent. So I can be very precise in what I share. Now, what I hope you're seeing right now is what I see is just the green box around Brent. What you guys see doesn't look like my screen, does it? All you see is just Brent. Okay, so it's a little different for the speaker.
It's a bit different here.
All I see on my computer is a blue box.
Yeah, same for me.
Oh, you don't see Brent?
No.
Huh. Do you see basic controls?
Yes.
I do now. I see
wonder if
part of it.
Maybe it won't let me share the video. Interesting. All right, something to try, something new. All right. One other thing I want to show you when you start sharing your screen, one of the things that comes up, right here it says share computer sound. If you're ever going to share a video and you want to show the video, you need to click that box in order for the people that you're sharing with to hear the sound. If you don't click that box, they won't hear the sound. Okay? So I have on a couple of occasions gone to share things like the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance or something during a Toastmasters meeting, and I'm listening along and everybody else is going, that's a beautiful picture of a flag, Carolyn, but we don't hear anything. And that's because if I don't click that box, they're not going to hear the sounds from the computer. They're only going to hear me, and that could be really bad if it's me singing. Okay. All right, so let me stop sharing again. Let's see if I get out of this. And let's see, Charla, let's see you try to share. Tell us what you think you're going to share, and then give it a shot.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. I'm going to share my Club Officer Training VPM Membership Spotlight video, PowerPoint.
PowerPoint, okay. And there you go, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I got it.
In my
Perfect.
dreams.
In your
Thank
dreams. Have you invited him to your Toastmaster meeting yet?
If I could get a hold of him, I would.
I don't doubt that at all. Joe, would you like to
Yes.
try to share your screen?
Sure.
All right.
I'm going to go up and try to share the NBA trade news.
Okay.
Oops. It's not coming up.
So when you click share, and then you have to actually click on what you want us to see.
Okay.
And you may be wondering why we're doing this, because in a few minutes when we start doing other things, if you start having trouble, I'll ask you to share your screen so I can help you get through those things. One thing that might help is if you turn off all the other things you have on your computer, if you have open your email and you have open a whole bunch of browser windows, if you close some of those other things, the options of what you have to share will decrease, and then you have less likelihood of sharing something you don't intend to share.
So Caroline, when you're trying to share a PowerPoint, are you supposed to click on the PowerPoint and then click on share screen?
You can do that. You can start the PowerPoint and then click on share screen if you want to share the screen that it comes up on. Or the way I did it, remember I didn't start the PowerPoint because I control the slides myself. So I just did sharing a portion of my screen. You can do it that way as well. Either way works. Joe, were you able to find the share screen?
I have it here.
Okay. Something's coming up. It says Joe. There we go. So what we're seeing is TripAdvisor.
Yes.
Are you planning a trip?
In the near future.
Okay, but not during this session, right?
Not at all.
Okay. Yeah. When I used to teach, the kids always wondered how I knew what they were doing, and it's because I used to do the same thing. So, busted. Very good. All right, Joe, if you'll stop sharing your screen. Michelle,
Thank you.
are you comfortable with sharing screens? Do you know how to do that? Michelle?
Oh, sorry. I'm having trouble hearing. Yeah, I think I can do it.
Okay, we'll give it a shot. There we go. It says you started
You
sharing
should
your
be
screen.
seeing my photography folder.
I
that
do
what you're
see your
seeing?
photography. Yes, I do. I see the beautiful pictures.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
pictures. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Anybody else want to try sharing? Anybody that hasn't done it and wants to give it a shot?
I'm going to try one more time if everybody
Okay.
else wants.
Yeah, that's what this part of the class is for everybody to get comfortable sharing.
Okay, I still don't see that PowerPoint. That is so weird.
It's on your screen. Oh, there we go.
How do I get
Now
up?
I see your PowerPoint.
Oh no, that's not my PowerPoint.
Or something with themes.
Yeah, no, I just clicked on PowerPoint to see whether it would come up. Now, how do I get out of this?
How do you get out of PowerPoint?
Stop share. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
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 All right, everybody comfortable with that? Very good. All right. Just a couple reminders. Be careful. The more you have open on your computer, the easier it is to share something you don't intend. Now, if you want to get more comfortable with Zoom and you want to learn more about how to use some of the controls, I looked up and found some great websites, some things I actually, I went out to these and I enjoyed them. Want to learn more? There's Zoom video tutorials. So this is a link you may want to do. And then there's Zoom meetings. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy this link and put it in the chat for you. These are 2 links that will take you to things that will help you learn even more about Zoom. Now I'm doing this because you're all adults and I know that none of you are going to be out there exploring these during the next session. But there's your link. So there's a couple of places you can go and learn more about Zoom. If you Google Zoom, you will get an abundance of options for places to go and learn more about it. There are all sorts of tutorials out on YouTube and different places, but these are just a couple that I went out to and saw. Whoops, I think I accidentally shared those to Missy privately instead of to everyone. You guys are probably wondering where those links are.
I
Missy
see
got
them.
There we
I
go.
can see them.
Okay. So they're in the chat now. All right. Our next session is called Toddlers, and we're going, that's me as a toddler, aren't I cute? We're going to take a tour of the international website. We're going to take a tour of our profile and Basecamp. So I'll be walking you all through several things on the international website. I'll also briefly touch on the new District 56 website because a couple people have asked about that. So it is 8:22, and we're going to start back at 8:30 with the second session, the toddler session. So you have a couple of minutes to go take care of any bodily needs you may have. Get yourself another cup of coffee. I will stay here. If anybody has any questions during that time, I'll try to answer those.
Okay, we'll be back in 7 minutes.
We'll be back at 8:30. That's 8 minutes on my clock.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Ellie.
Okay, these links that you just sent, how do I don't want to open them now, but how do I keep them for later? Where do I store them? How do I get to them?
You have a couple of
Later.
options on what you could do.
Okay.
You could open a Word document, you know, like you were going to type a letter.
Okay.
And you could copy and paste them into a Word document.
Okay.
Or if you have a notes thing on your computer,
okay,
you can copy them into notes. I have a program called Sticky Notes that I love. It's just like having a stack of Post-it notes.
I think I have that. I just have to check on that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm showing. You should see mine on my. I use these all the time. You can see I've got a bazillion sticky notes, because when I at work, I was a person that always had sticky notes stuck to my computer screen all over the place, and now I can have them on the screen. So things that I should remember but that I don't, like my own title and phone number at work, because people are, you know, forever asking me and I'm going, I don't know, I don't call myself. Everything from that down to, oh, okay, here are my Cisco contract numbers, and I have people that, you know, want me to say, when I'm saying things, they want me to use the military speak, Alpha Bravo Charlie, and I can never remember what they're supposed to be, so I have that handy. That's a cool program. I know it's included in Office, and I believe that Apple has a similar thing.
Okay, I get that. So I copy that, but I have to get out of Zoom to go to, let's say, Word document or whatever, sticky note. So how do I just kind of lower the screen and get out of the screen?
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay, so yeah, you want to go from the full screen view to a smaller view so that you can see the other things on your computer.
How do
So
I
in
do
the
that?
in the upper right hand corner,
Exit full screen?
yes.
Uh-huh.
Now it'll make it smaller, and you'll be
Uh-huh.
able to see other things.
Thank
And
you.
you
You're
can just
welcome.
minimize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
I
that all the
usually
time.
minimize it too. Yeah, all the way down, and
Yeah,
then
if you
pick it
minimize it
up.
though, then you may not be able to find it again. It's be on your bar at the
Exactly.
bottom.
Correct. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I
Thank you
understand.
so much.
No worries. No
All
worries.
right. So I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Can I
Take
try,
5.
can I try to share the screen now?
If you would like to, let me stop sharing and I will go ahead.
Okay. I still don't know why that PowerPoint is not coming on. Should I get out of this and then get onto Zoom again?
No, I suspect that so is Zoom taking up your whole screen?
Yes.
So
But this
minimize.
doesn't look like anything on my computer. This doesn't look like anything of mine. So even if I click on the share, all that's coming up is this stuff.
And this isn't yours?
No,
Those aren't your presentations?
no, no, that's just a PowerPoint thing.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but you're sharing PowerPoint right now.
Not my PowerPoint.
Not your presentation.
Yeah, not my presentation. The one that I have on my screen is just not coming up. I don't know why.
Okay. So, and I see you're using an Apple, so I'm not as familiar with the Apple, but when you start sharing, instead of clicking on the one that says PowerPoint, you may have to scroll down to find the specific PowerPoint that you want to share.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not getting to my computer at all. That means I'm not getting to my computer screen. When I'm trying to share, I'm seeing somebody else's computer screen. So don't show this when opening PowerPoint. I don't know what that means.
Okay, it's not possible for you to share anybody else's screen, but
when I click here, this is not my screen. This is not my computer screen.
It's on your computer screen somewhere. It may be behind what you're seeing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only possible for you to share what's on your computer. So that is on your computer somewhere. If you have multiple things open, it may be open somewhere you don't even see because you've got other windows over the top.
No, I'm getting the same old thing. Okay, it doesn't matter. I can do it by myself.
Okay.
I know how to share screen, but today it's just not working out.
Yeah, what I will tell you is that a lot of times things are hiding. You don't realize they're there. So, for example, right now I'm showing you guys mine. When I click on share screen.
Okay, I think I got out of it.
I don't see this Zoom window anywhere on my screen, but it's there. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to share it with you. So if I click around enough, I can, there it is. It's on, I have it open. I just didn't, I don't realize it. So sometimes there's things on our computers that we're not even aware are on our computers.
Yeah, running in the background.
Yeah.
Carolyn, I have one logistical issue.
All right.
I have another online training coming up at 0900.
Okay.
It's for how to use FreeToast Host.
Okay.
So I might have to jump out of this and get on that. So
okay, that's fine. This is broken up into 4 pieces, and at 8:30 we'll start the second piece, and then at 9:30 we'll start the third piece, and it's intended so that people can come and go. This session is being repeated on a couple of Saturdays. There's also this coming Wednesday I'll be redoing this second piece, so you're welcome to join in again or in another session.
Excellent. Thanks, Carolyn.
You bet. You bet. All right. Do we have everybody back? Looks like everybody's back.
Oops.
So it's 8:30. We're going to start our second session. And the second session, as I said, is Toddlers, Exploring the International Website. Now I'm going to start by taking you on a tour. So I'm going to share my screen again and take you guys on a little tour of the international website. To do that, I'm going to share my screen. And I am going to share my whole screen too. And right now, when I share my whole screen too, you guys see a mess of stuff, including probably pictures of yourself in the background there, if it lets you do that. All right. So, sharing my whole screen. What am I sharing? What do you see?
We see your desktop.
You see my desktop. That's good. All right. I want to go to the international website. So I'm going to share. What I really want is to share screen too. There we go. That's the one I want to share. So I'm going to open a browser window. If you haven't already, share screen 1, no, share screen 2. Actually have to hit the share button to share. Okay. Do you see my browser window?
Yes.
So you see new tab up at the top?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to go to the Toastmasters International website. Now, I happen to have that clicked as a favorite, but if you don't, you can just start typing Toastmasters International Toastmasters International home. And I've been there before, so you can get there that way. Or if you go to your favorite browser, I use Google quite a bit, and type in your search window and start typing Toastmasters, it'll come up. So we're going to go to Toastmasters International. If you have more than one screen, what I would recommend that you do is have what I'm showing you on one screen, and then on the other screen, open your own browser window. So we're going to go to Toastmasters International Home. Can anybody tell me who this is?
The Speaker of the Year?
Yeah. Do you know who that was in 2018?
No.
Ramona Smith, and she's from our district.
Nice.
In 2018, that was Ramona Smith. All right, when we go to the international website, up at the top, big Toastmasters logo, right there, little bitty button that says log in. That's how you get into the Toastmasters website, by logging in. We're actually going to practice that in a little bit, but even without logging in, there's a lot we can find and see on the Toastmasters website. And I'm going to maximize this on my screen, and I want to show you some of the ways that you get around in the Toastmasters website. If I click on About, it gives me all sorts of options about Toastmasters. I can find out about our mission, the Toastmasters International mission, the district mission, club mission. I can go back to home, and it will take me back to that first page. So anytime you see home, it's going to try to take you back to that first page. If I want to know more about membership, I'll click on membership. How to join. Click. There you go. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3, they say. To get home, I'm going to click on home. If I want to go shopping, I'm going to hit the shop button. I can shop educational items, things for contest, marketing stuff. I can shop all kinds of things. If I know something kind of in particular I want, let's say I know I want a Pathways pin, I can put that in there and hit return. And looky there, Pathways pin. There's the Pathways pin for engaging humor. All sorts of things there. So the search will let me help narrow it down. If I don't like that search, hit X, take it out. If I'm through shopping and I want to go home, I just click the home button. Now somebody was saying they were having trouble sometimes on browsers. The back arrows up here in your the back arrows on some pages don't work as well if they haven't connected them in. That has to do with how the website is set up. So just about anywhere in Toastmasters, you can click on home and get back, or if you click on the actual Toastmaster logo, it'll take you back to that home page. So that's a couple of tricks to getting back to home on the Toastmasters site. So when they design these pages, they actually have to set them up so that these back arrows, these forward and back arrows work. And if they haven't set them up on all the pages, then you can find other ways to get back to the beginning. So that Toastmaster logo is a good way to get back to the home. One thing I have noticed is when you get off into the pathways things in Toastmasters, sometimes it doesn't want to take you back to the main home of Toastmasters. It just wants to take you back to the beginning of Pathways. So you can always open another browser and get back there. Okay. Most people, when you have a, I'm using Google Chrome, but with most of the browsers now, up at the top you'll see tabs. So like right now on one tab I have my email. Close that one. But here's Toastmasters International. Next to it there's a little plus sign. And if I open that, it'll let me open a new tab. Now, if I go back, Toastmasters is still there, but I can open this new tab, and this time I'm going to Google Toastmasters. Let me spell AST. District 56. Toastmasters Houston, District 56. Woohoo! And oh, it's just going to take me back to Toastmasters International. That's not what I meant to do. I wanted the District 56 website. Oh, yeah, there I am. Okay. So there's District 56's website. So I can actually have them both open at the same time in two different tabs. So here's Toastmasters International, and here's the District 56. Now, most of what we're going to talk about today is going to be on the international, but I do want to mention the District 56 website. They did a fabulous job setting this up. I'm just going to teach you something that it took me a minute to learn, and I figure if it took me a minute to learn and I share it with you, maybe I'll save you a minute. When you click on menu in the District 56 website, it brings up this menu over here on the right-hand side. I can tell you that you can click all day on events and not get anywhere, because I just kept clicking and clicking and clicking on events, and I wasn't going anywhere. But notice if I hover, if I move my pointer up, when I go different places, it shows me different things just to the left. So if I hover on events, it shows me the calendar, conferences, speech contests, and incentives. If I go down to education, it shows me club officer training, district officer training. This is just showing me another layer of menus. To click on one of those, I actually need to go over there and click on it. All right, so don't make the Carolyn mistake. You can click all day on events. It won't take you anywhere. But if you hover over events, it will give you the calendar. And now if you click on the calendar, it'll take you to the calendar. Again, I point that out because I was over here clicking on events going, come on, and it wouldn't take me there. When you click on calendar, I looked at this and went, that doesn't look like a calendar. Scroll down and it's there. So it's just a little different than what we've had in the past. So we just all have to get used to it. I think we're really going to like the website. It actually looks very cool, but I did want to mention that whole hovering and the menu showing up to the side. What I'm more used to and what you may be more used to is when you hover on something, you can click on it and then the next layer comes up. And this one, you have to move over to do it. All right. Let's go back to the international website now for just a moment. And let me show you how to log on. When you log on, there's this there's a little shopping cart picture up there, and then there's log on. And when you click on log on, it's going to bring up a screen. It wants the email that you used that Toastmasters International knows you by. So if you get emails from Toastmasters, that's the email it wants you to put in there. Once you do this, it'll it usually remembers you, and some of your browsers may have ways for you to save even your password, and that's up to you whether you want to do that or not. But your email goes in the member ID, and then your password goes here, and you just click log on, and it'll take you in, and it will recognize you. If you have forgotten your password, you can put your email in and hit forgot password. It'll ask you to put your email in again, and then they will send you a link to reset your password. But what you do have to have is the email that Toastmasters International knows you by. If you can't remember what email Toastmasters knows you by, send a note to Elizabeth in the chat, and she may be able to pull up what's on the roster for you from Toastmasters International. You like how I just volunteered you, Elizabeth? All right, so I'm going to log in. Now, when I log in, it's going to see me. It's going to tell us about me. When you log in, it's going to tell you about you. So what I see on my screen is probably going to be different than what you see on your screen at this point. Where it says, welcome Carolyn, that's how I know I have logged in. If I click on Welcome Carolyn, it's going to bring up my profile. This is the information about me. This is what Toastmasters knows and remembers about me. Now, just for fun, somebody start keeping track of how many times we see a way to get to base camp. Because just about, I look all over on the Toastmasters website, there are different ways to get to base camp. And I've had people tell me, I don't know how to get there. You can hardly go to the Toastmasters website and not get to base camp because they keep putting the link out there for you. But in your profile, you don't have to have a picture, but you can. It'll have your address, your email, your phone numbers. If you need to change any of this, it gives you an option to come down and change things. It'll also tell me what paths I'm enrolled in. If I click on this, I'm enrolled in 2 paths. Right now, it's going to take me to my transcript. And here it tells me, oh, they've got a new home page. Okay. I'm actually enrolled in 3 paths, and it has all 3 of them right there. Now, this is the one place that I have noticed that if I try to go back to Toastmasters International, it doesn't always take me there. A lot of times when I go to home here, this is the programming of the page. It'll take me most of the time either, well, like now it's just leaving me there, or it'll take me back to the beginning of base camp. So I can try my arrows up here to see if I can get back to Toastmasters International. This time it worked. Sometimes those work, sometimes they don't. That has to do with how the page is programmed. And if you want to make notes of those and send notes to Toastmasters International and say, hey, on this page, the home link doesn't work, I'm sure they'd be happy to get that feedback and help them make their website better. But if you ever find yourself not able to get back to the home page and you're like, okay, I'm just done, I want to get back, open a new tab and just go back from there. If you save it as a favorite, and different browsers do different things with favorites, if you have it saved as a favorite, it's real easy just to click on it and say, okay, Toastmasters International, and go right back there. And once you've logged in, it will remember that you logged in today on most browsers. Now, if you have your browser set up really, really protective, it may not, but most of them, it'll take you right back there. So anyway, so here I am. I'm going to take a look at my profile a little bit more, just a couple other things to show you on your profile. Education awards, this will tell you any awards that you have been given. So if you think you're about to get one of your awards, you can go out and look and see if it's been registered yet. My Innovative Planning has. I've just recently completed another level 1 and it's not out here yet. So if I go out and look and it's not out there, who would I call in my club to ask about why my award might not be showing up?
VPE.
Your VPE.
Yeah, VPE.
So if I've submitted it correctly, if I'm pretty sure I've submitted it correctly, I might want to reach out to my VPE and say, hey, I think I submitted this, but I'm not seeing it yet, and see if they haven't done their step yet. So that's a place you can check and see if your awards have been done. I'm going to go back to my profile. And if I want to know, okay, what clubs have I been a member of? Membership history will tell me all the clubs I've been a member of. I'm realizing now I have lied in my introduction. I've actually been a member of Toastmasters since 2015. Oops, 2015. And notice I can click here and go right back to my profile, or I can click here and go back to the home page. I'm going to go back to my profile. So there's all kinds of ways, and oh, I went too fast. In my membership history, sometimes people ask you for your club number. If you want to know what your club number is, the club IDs are over here next to your clubs. I'm not a member of all of these anymore, but I have been members of these at different times. My current memberships are with Dining Out and with North Houston, but I can get my club numbers. So that's one place to go find your club number. Another thing I get asked for periodically is my Toastmaster ID. I don't know. I don't have it off the top of my head, but there it is. My member number is right there in my profile. If I want to go learn more about my club, I can go to Club Central. If I want to go learn more about my district, I can click on District Central. I can look at what offices I have held. All sorts of things are out here under your profile. So I encourage you to go out and take a look at your profile. If when you look at your profile, it comes up and the first thing you notice is that your primary email is a work address for a place you don't work anymore, you probably need to update that, okay? So you're going to want to go in and edit the information. And you do that by clicking on the button right above the picture place. It says edit contact information and privacy. So you can go ahead and edit your contact information with Toastmasters International. I know when I first joined Toastmasters, I worked at MD Anderson and I used my MD Anderson email. So now instead of doing that, I have my personal email there so that if I change jobs, my Toastmasters stuff, I don't have to change that. But that's a personal preference. You can decide which you want to do. This tells me the clubs I'm active in now. So that's my profile. All right. Let's see your profile. Shirley, can you share your screen and show us your profile?
Actually, I did not log onto it, so if you want to go back, I will do that.
All right.
I know, right?
Caroline?
Yes, ma'am.
How do I log in when I have the Zoom on?
Open another window. Remember, I said open another tab.
Yeah, but how do I open that other tab when the Zoom is on?
In your browser, is there a little tab up at the top and a little plus sign to where you could open another one?
No, I don't see that.
Okay. Maria, let's work on that in just let me wait just a minute. Let's see if Shirley can show us her profile.
I can do that. Hold on. Sharing my screen. And hopefully.
And welcome, Pamela. I noticed that you joined us. You weren't with us the first hour, but thank you for joining us.
It's not wanting to share.
It's sharing.
Is
We're
that
about
it?
to. There you go.
There you go.
So
I
we
see it.
have where Toastmasters are made. Yes, and we can see. There's Shirley's profile. Look at you. Congratulations, Shirley. All right. We can see you. Very good. Very good. All right. Now where did Pamela go? There she is. Pamela Lawson. You just joined us. Can you show us your profile?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yes, I'm not.
Can you log on to Toastmasters International?
Let me see.
Are you more worried about logging on to Toastmasters International or sharing your screen?
Well, I'm a novice and I didn't get into the beginning of your class, so I'm really not familiar with how to do that.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can't help you out. So do you have your log on your screen? Can you see Toastmasters International?
No.
Okay. But you can see the Zoom meeting?
Yes.
At the bottom of your Zoom meeting screen, there's a green button that says share screen.
Okay.
Click on that. Now pick something to share with us. It's going to open a window and you'll see options of things to share with us.
Okay.
Just pick one.
I am not, this is, okay, here we go. Okay. Share.
There you go. You are now sharing a picture. Let me show you what I see. If you look in my window, we see
Zoom.
Zoom.
Zoom. Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
So you have successfully shared your screen.
All
now,
right.
if you scroll up to the top, if you go up to the top of your screen, there'll be a way to stop sharing.
Okay. Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
Congratulations. You've just shared your first screen.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right, let's try something here. Let me see if I can help some of you that are having trouble with opening another browser with Zoom on. So 2 ways to look at that.
Carol, I hate to interrupt you. This is Barbara Walker.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I'm just being able to join you. So I just start from where you are right now.
Okay, you were with us on Wednesday though, weren't you, Barbara?
Yes, but I still need practice.
Okay, well you can come back and practice anytime. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again and see if I can't help a couple folks with maybe how they get another, being able to get to the international website while they have Zoom on. So in most browsers, what you're going to find are these tabs across the top, just like I was able to go to Calendar and International, Toastmasters International. I can put that there's a little new tab. When I hover over that, it says new tab. That's one possibility. The other thing is that wherever your bar is, mine happens to be down here at the bottom of my screen where I have all my applications that I can open. This one shows the Zoom. If I click on that, it actually brings up Zoom stuff over on one of my screens. If I click on, this one, it shows me that I have the Toastmasters. If I right click on that, it will give me the opportunity to open a new window, and I can actually open a whole nother session of my Google. So I have the one with Toastmasters and I have this other one here. So on the Mac, Marie, you may need to open another instance of your browser. If you're using Safari, you may have to open another instance of it to be able to go to the Toastmasters website and have Zoom going at the same time if you're running Zoom through your browser.
Okay, but what do I click on now that I'm on Zoom? What do I click on to go there? To get to Safari?
At the bottom of your screen,
yes.
You have a bunch of icons down there?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have Safari on my computer, so I don't have the Safari icon.
Oh, so you're telling me just click on Safari and then go there? No.
It should take you to a new Safari page, yes.
Yeah, the trouble is Zoom is on the top of everything. So let me try one more time. No. Can I, how do I move the Zoom away to get to that?
So if you have Zoom and it's overpowering everything, most of the time in every application up in this upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little box. If you click it, it'll maximize or it'll minimize. And once you've made it smaller, you can grab the corners or the sides and shrink it, make it smaller so you can share your screen with yourself. You can have more of your screen open for something else. So see how I'll make that window smaller? And then my Zoom window, right now it looks like this. Can you all see your own pictures?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I can make this box bigger
So
or smaller?
I was able to get into Toastmasters International.
Very good. Okay. Is there anybody else that hasn't been able to open Toastmasters International?
I don't know if I have.
Leticia?
Yeah, I'm not able to do it on my iPad. I have,
Probably
like,
not on your iPad. You're probably only going to be able to see one thing at a time. Yeah, that's very true.
Carolyn, how did you get to that profile again? Can you just tell me real quick?
Sure. And who's talking? Let me see who's talking.
Missy.
Missy, there you are. Okay.
I finally figured out how to get to the, I'm logged in and everything.
Now you want to find your profile.
Yes, I do.
All right. So let me take things off my screen that I'm sharing. So to get from Toastmasters home, you start where you start. So you see this at the beginning or something similar where it says welcome. You're just going to say welcome Missy.
Right. I see that.
Click on the Missy.
Oh.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Okay.
Click on your name and it'll tell you all about yourself.
Wow.
Who knew?
Who knew? Yeah. Well, that's what, you know, when Elizabeth and I first started talking about this class and we were talking about helping people get signed up to Pathways, we were saying one of the things that we assume, and it's wrong for us to assume, is that everybody understands how to get to the website. Everybody understands how to log on. And because not everybody does, that's why we set this course up in these 4 sections. And you're like, God, are you going to wait 3 hours before I actually get into Pathways? Well, because we want everybody to get comfortable with how to get there. So, you know, if you're already comfortable going to the Pathways website, this might not be the right class for you. But if you're somebody that's, you know, still trying to figure out how do I open my browser, this gives you a safe place to try that out. So I hope it's helpful for everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Carolyn, now how do I get back on the Zoom?
Well, you're still on Zoom because we can still see you. My guess is that at the bottom of your screen, in those little pictures, somewhere you're going to have one that probably looks something like this little blue one with the camera that I'm pointing to down here.
Okay, I can't see that.
And if you click on that, it probably will bring Zoom. Again, I've noticed your screen is an Apple, and I don't have an Apple, so I'm not as familiar with those. What I would say is poke around. If it beeps at you, beep back.
So if I just click on the Zoom, will that cover it up now?
I think so.
Okay, let me do that.
Give it a shot. Tell us what happens.
Well, I just clicked on the Zoom, but I've got this where it is welcome Carolyn. I had welcome Marie, but then I tried.
So you're seeing my screen. That's what I'm showing.
Yeah.
The reason you see welcome Carolyn is because you're seeing my presentation.
Yes, yes.
There you go. Yeah. So you're on Zoom.
Yeah.
You're back. Yep, you're back
So
on Zoom.
I went there and I clicked on welcome Marie and I saw everything. And then I tried to put Zoom on the top, but this is what I got.
Well, but this is Zoom. If you see welcome Carolyn, you're seeing Zoom.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. because the only way for you to see my screen is through Zoom.
Okay.
There you go. All right. So let's look around a little bit more on the international website. Pathways is hard to miss. In our profile, it's right here on the main page. I don't know if you noticed, but there's one whole section dedicated to Pathways. Yeah. So if you click on that, guess where it takes you? Pathways. If you go to education, look what's there. Pathways. I really think you would have a hard time not finding Pathways on the District 56 website. But I'm going to give you guys just a minute. We're going to go around and look at some things because I'm going to change my share here. What I want to show you now, I want to go back to my presentation. I'm going to show you just part of my screen again. You know me, I like my little boxes. Okay. And I have some challenges for you. I have a scavenger hunt. Now, the answers are right here in the links, but I made them very small so it'll be hard to see. The first thing we're going to try to find is the map of service to members. We're going to go see if we can figure out where that would be on the Toastmasters International website. Are you ready? So I'll do the first one with you, and then I'm going to give you some time to try to find some of these things on the international website. The first one, map of service to members. Now again, the answer is right there. You can go click on you can go find the link, you can grab the link or type the link in and cheat, but that's not what we want to do. So we're going to go back to the screen. And since we're looking for the map of member services, let's think where we might find that. Let's see, would that be maybe about Toastmasters? Maybe? All about Toastmasters? Not there. About Toastmasters, let's try again. Who are we? Well, that's back where I was. About Toastmasters, I'm going to go to our world headquarters. Oh, there's a picture of our world headquarters. Those of you who are looking ahead or looked ahead saw that was one of the scavenger hunt items. Our commitment to members. Map of service to members.
That's it.
There we go. All kinds of information out on that website. Now, when you get to something like this, this is a PDF.
Excuse me, where's our commitment thing?
I'll show you in just a second.
Okay, sure.
When you pull up something like this and you start seeing buttons like download and print, what it's showing you is a document. To get back to the website, use the back arrow, and it'll take you back to where you got it. So to get to our commitment to members, I went under About, World Headquarters, and then Our Commitment to Members. And the map of service to members. So a lot of times when you go to trainings, people will show these nifty pictures and these great slides, and you're like, oh man, where'd they get that? I can promise you that 9 times out of 10, it's from Toastmasters International website. So if you go out there and poke around, the absolute worst thing that can happen is that you get lost on the website somewhere. Just click on the Toastmasters logo, and it'll take you back to the home page, and you can start over again. Okay. If that doesn't work, close the browser, reopen it. You won't be trapped forever. Just get back to the home page and you can start exploring again. So the next one here is a club in Bismarck, North Dakota. Now, why would I want to find a club in Bismarck, North Dakota? Maybe I want to join, right? About us. Let's see. Membership. How to join? Maybe. Club experience. Maybe. Did I see find a club somewhere? I thought I saw that. Find an online club. Find a club near you. Well, I'm in Houston, but if I want to find Bismarck, North Dakota.
Yes, and type it in.
I can type it in. Now we actually have somebody on with us from London. So let's go see if we can find her club from London. Find a club near me. I want to find London, England. Well, look at there.
That is
there's a whole lot of clubs in London, England.
Interesting. Yeah. That is interesting.
no matter where you are, you can find a club near you. So if you go traveling someplace and you want to go visit a Toastmasters club, you can do that. You can go find any club. Any club. And right now, since so many people are working online, a lot of people are joining clubs from around the world just to get a flavor for what things are. So what is the name of your club in London?
City of London Toastmasters.
City of London Toastmasters. Okay. Well, I don't know if that came up as one of our top choices here, but I don't know. I think there's even a way to find a club if I might be able to put in. No, can't do that. I thought I might be able to find it that way. I bet I can Google it though and find it.
Excuse me, Carolyn?
Yes.
Actually, if you go back to find a club and open up search options.
Oh, Charlotte's going to teach us something. Oh, look at there. Name of the club. Ha ha ha. City of London. There's more than one way to skin that cat. Submit my search. Well, there we go. City of London Toastmasters. We can email them. We can go to their website. We can go look at them on Facebook. We can do all sorts of stuff. Let's go check out their website. City of London Toastmasters. And looky there.
You can see all their pictures.
We can see pictures, yeah. So one of the things that this allows us to do, and I think one of the things that the pandemic, now I can't say the word. One of the things COVID-19 has helped us do is realize, I'm going to skip that word. They keep talking about socially distancing. And I heard somebody the other day say, we need to stop saying socially distancing because we're social right now. What we're doing is physically distancing. And I think one of the things that this has shown us is that we can be social with people in a whole lot, in a broader range. I mean, we've got somebody here online with us today from London, England, who would not have gotten to come to a District 56 training, most likely, but here she is. Okay, so we're getting to share things across the world now.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to join a club, not join the club, and zoom into a club that speaks Spanish. How would I do that?
How would you do? Well, in Houston, I happen to know we have clubs called Pensadores. There's Pensadores.
What's the name of it? What's the name of it?
Pensadores. Now you're going to ask me to spell that.
Pensadores.
Sounds good to me. That's a good start. But let's do that same trick we did before where we're going to Toastmasters.
Right.
Let's go see if we can find them. Membership. We want to how to join.
Go to membership. Okay.
So visit one of our clubs. Find a club.
Find the club.
And now, like Charlotte taught us, instead of looking in Houston, we can go down and search and say
P-E-N-S-A-D-O-R-E-S. That's what it sounds.
That's what it sounds like. And languages other than English are so much better at.
Right.
There we go. Pensadores Northwest, and there's Pensadores Houston.
Correctly. Look at me.
There you go. So you can find a club. I know those two speak Spanish, and they would love to have you come.
I would love to be there so I can practice I practice every day, so I would love to.
There you go. I need to go just to learn. But
I have a website for you just to get started.
Okay, you can send me that.
Okay.
So look at all the things we can do on our Toastmasters International website. Anybody learn anything new yet?
Yes.
Yeah, a couple things here and there.
I have a little tip.
You have a little tip?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
instead of poking around and looking for all that, if you just put it in a search box in the very top, it's a shortcut.
It is a shortcut.
Yeah, for example, if you need a membership application and you don't know where to go, membership or club or whatever, you just type it there and it will take you wherever you want a little faster.
So Ellie is going to steal my thunder.
I'm sorry.
Teach you about the search box. Now, you're fine, Ellie. I'm teasing you. Now, why didn't I just teach you that to start with? One of the things is I want you to get familiar with the website and poke around. But also, when you come in and you type things like that, you're going to find it in a different format. It's not always easy to spot right away what you're looking for. Typically, the one on top is going to be what you're looking for, but don't forget to scroll down and look. Look at all the things that come up for membership applications. There's over 10 pages of options. So sometimes doing a search gets you more information. It can be overwhelming. You might be like, oh my God. I mean, for example, if I type pen in search, it's like, oh, wow. Okay, 2 pages of, I want a pen. How do I get there from here? So the searches can be very helpful, but if you're not getting what you're looking for, then that's when these buttons up here come in handy. Okay. But yeah, you're absolutely right. If you're looking for a form or an application, now if you're looking for it in another language, I strongly recommend that you put the language after it. So if you were looking for a membership application in Spanish, I would type member application Spanish so that it looks for all 3 words, and that'll narrow down your list. I am very seldom looking for anything in a language other than English, I'm going to be honest. Okay. All right. Where do you think I would go if I wanted to find a lady's short sleeve Oxford shirt? Where would you suggest I start searching?
At the top.
At the top? Under what?
Shop.
Under shop?
Well.
Shop. Yeah. There we go. How about marketing maybe?
Gifts.
Okay.
Look at that now.
Or gifts. Ah, women's
Look
apparel.
at that.
Women's apparel. Check it out. And let's see. Women's short sleeve Oxford shirt. Gosh, does that look familiar at all?
Oh, yes.
I wonder where I got this. Actually, I got this. A friend of mine brought it back from a conference for me.
Look at that.
Yeah. What if I want to know the official logo for Toastmasters?
I guess you would type it in.
You could certainly type it in here, but if you go to resources and we go to resource library, all sorts of things. Now look how many resources there are on the resource library. Oh my God, that's a ton. 696. Woo.
That's
We're going to use Ellie's logo. If we type logo here, we got a whole Zoom registration banners and logo, design elements. Design elements is a great place to mark. Design elements tells you how they want you to, actually the official logo and what they want you to do, how they want you to use it. So if I want a copy of the logo and I want it in a JPEG, I click here. If I want it in a PNG, I type here. Let's go check it out. There you go. There's the Toastmasters logo. Since this is a picture, to get back, oh, actually it opened a new page. It actually opened a whole new browser window. The brand portal, excellent place to go and check things out. This will tell you how they want you to use the brand, what you can and can't do, how you're supposed to use it, how you're not supposed to use it. They tell me if you will read this, it will keep you out of trouble. They tell me that usually when I've done something wrong and they want me to go read it so I stop doing it wrong. So I would advise you to come out here and look at it before you use something. But all sorts of things out here on the page. All right. Our next session is going to be all on pathways. We're actually going to dive into pathways. Now we've talked about how you can hardly go out to the website and not find pathways. But the first thing that we're all going to do is go out and take a look at the navigator, because I have a good friend, Pamela McCowan, who tells me all the time if I will read, I will learn most of the things that I have questions about. And so I'm going to show you one of her favorite places to send people to find the answer to their question. Pamela is a big believer in teaching somebody to fish instead of fishing for them. So instead of giving me the answer, she will point me to where I need to go to find it. And she has pointed me to this particular resource more times than I can count. I finally caught on one day and thought, maybe I ought to actually read that. So let me help you by showing you what she shared with me, and we'll all learn that together. All right. I want to make sure that everybody is comfortable finding their way around the website, so I'm going to give you a chance to play here and see if you can find some of the things on my scavenger hunt list. And I will be back at 9:30 to start the next session where we actually go into pathways. But here are some items for you to try to find in the meantime. If you get stuck, the answers are there. But here's some things to try to go find on the website. So poke around, see what you can find, or get coffee, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to do. But at 9:30, we're going to come back and start talking about the pathways.
Caroline, can I ask you a question, please?
Absolutely.
Can you explain again how I can go to brand portal, please?
Sure. If you get to under resources on the international website, resources.
Oh yes.
Then in the top of the middle column it says brand portal.
Brand portal. Excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You are very welcome. That one I know.
Carol, what's your email address? What is your email address, Carol, so I can send you the email?
Let me put that in the chat. I will put my email address in the chat. To everyone, 87 AGGIE. There you go. 87aggie@gmail.com. That is my email address.
So I can tell which college you attended.
Really?
Yeah, because you said Aggie.
Would it surprise you to know that I actually have a degree from both A&M and UT?
Quick question about templates, very quick question.
Uh-huh.
Okay, because we have a new secretary here online with us from Market Street. And is there a template for the secretary form that it's just like easy for the meeting minutes after that? Have you come across from that?
I don't know, so we can go look, but I can tell you
that.
somebody in District 56 to check with that has a fabulous secretary template is Rhonda Reeves.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay.
But let's just go. I think there probably is a secretary.
Carolyn?
Yes.
I can help with that in the leadership handbook. In the leadership handbook.
Okay.
There is a template, but also the quickest way is when you're on Toastmasters International and you go to Leadership Central.
Okay.
And you go to Officer Roles and you click on Secretary.
Okay.
There is a template. And then that search bar that Carolyn was teaching us at the very top of Toastmasters International, you can also type in minutes of the meeting.
Okay.
Agenda, and there is a template to download straight from there as well.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
The beauty of a group session.
Yeah.
If one person doesn't know the answer, somebody does.
Somebody does. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. I do not pretend to know everything about all things. So yes, if you've got a tip, like Ellie shared with us, the search at the top, Charla teaching me that I can find other options for clubs by expanding the options. And Elizabeth chiming in with things on the officer and club roles. Fabulous. My job is to make it so that you guys can find the things they tell you how to find. Anybody having any trouble with the scavenger hunt, or anybody trying things out? Or have we all gone off to find other things?
That means take a break a little bit. Take a little break.
You can take a little break, Barbara. Absolutely.
I'm
Barbara,
trying.
did you need me to walk you back through the views?
Are we going to get this next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday next Wednesday we'll be talking about the international website again. But I can, while we have a little bit of time, if you want me to, I can help you get to your views.
Well, you want me to text you later then? You can text me later.
Yeah, remember, if you look at my screen,
yes,
you have the active view, the gallery view.
Right.
Up in the upper right-hand corner is how you change between active, the speaker and the gallery.
Right, active. I remember that from last Wednesday.
There you go. Yeah.
Active and gallery, yes.
Yeah.
Gallery shows everything.
It shows all the people, and active shows one. Now, if you want to do the side-by-side.
Side by side.
Up at the top where it says you are seeing Carolyn's screen.
Right.
You see view options.
Mm-hmm.
Click on view options. Now click side by side.
Right. So to get from them, see, when I first pull it up, where log on to Zoom, and to get to this point, how did I do that? Just as a review.
When you log on to Zoom, it starts an active speaker.
Okay.
And so then you go up and click gallery view to get to this view.
Right.
And side by side, you can only do side by side if somebody is sharing something. If nobody's sharing, then there's nothing to put on the side. So there is no side by side view.
That makes sense.
There you go. Okay.
Right. That sounds good.
There's your quick review.
Right. And that's enough. That gives me a minute.
There you go.
I like that.
Here's your side by side.
Right. And to go from one to the other, just go back.
Up in that upper right-hand corner, you can see the gallery view.
And then click on that if I'm going to another screen. Okay. That sounds good.
Now, if you are the presenter and you're changing slides, that's a whole different presentation. This is not intended to make you a presenter. This is just a presentation on how to do some things. We've actually made some notes, I think, that people would like to have a session on how to be a presenter on Zoom. I know that a couple people on Monday mentioned that, so.
And I would like to do that too, because
I'm sure they are looking for somebody to teach that class.
Well, I can't teach it yet because I'm in the beginning stage.
I understand. I understand. I might, but they might not want me to because I don't probably do it the way they want me to.
Let me ask you this. Some people are interested in it, and if this is what you do is all volunteer work, it's a part of a job, it's all volunteer, right?
Yes, it's all volunteer.
Carolyn,
and that's wonderful.
Try and share my screen again because I opened the PowerPoint.
Okay, all right. I'll stop sharing and let you try.
Okay.
For those of you who are waiting, we will start the third. Oh, look at you. The journey is more exciting than the destination.
Yes, so got that.
There you go. Persistence pays off.
Now I stop share, I guess, right?
If you want to stop sharing, you stop sharing, yes.
Yeah, but it came on. So I know what my problem was. I had not opened the PowerPoint before I put on the Zoom.
That could be.
Yeah, and if you don't open it before you put on the Zoom, then it's hard. Okay.
Okay. Carol, I'll be back in about 2 minutes. I have to go outside and get my newspaper.
You go right ahead. If you need to do something personal, you take care of that.
All right,
I'm
thank
good
you.
with that.
Carolyn,
Yes.
do you mind sharing your screen on our new Toastmaster District 56 website real quick?
I will be happy to do that. Good.
And then if you hover.
Am I sharing right now?
No, not yet.
Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. I had to find my Zoom screen. Speaking of finding things, tip for those of you still on the line, the more you have open, the harder it is to find what you want. If you're having trouble finding something, try closing some of the things on your screen. All right, let's go back to, there we go. Yes, District 56.
Okay, and go to the menu and then hover over Resources tab.
That one I think you can actually click on. Nope, I'm hovering.
Yeah,
oh, there it is. Yeah, I clicked.
Perfect. And then under the Club Officer Toolkit.
Club Officer Toolkit.
And click
right
that little rectangle. And we have a lot of PDFs there for the club officers as well.
Well, look at you.
Yes.
Aren't you guys fancy? The club officer installation strip.
Yes. Just wanted to share that tidbit.
Absolutely.
While
That's
we're
great.
on break.
Yeah, no. I will mention that because somebody,
okay.
Now I don't see, so club officer roles, club meeting roles. Look at that.
I believe Ellie, does she have her hand up or did she already
Where
ask
is
her
Ellie?
question? I see her hand up.
Yeah, I think she had a hand up earlier.
Okay, I'll turn
Leticia,
it
what
off.
you got, ma'am?
Yes. What was the first tab? Resources? Under menu to find that?
District 56. Let's see if that takes me back where I think it should.
I think you're there.
Okay. So District 56 under, make that go away, menu, resources. And when I hover over resources, it doesn't bring anything up. So I go ahead and click on it and it brings it up.
Okay.
Since I know we have some folks online that are just listening in, suggestion for the website, I would personally suggest that after people get to the menu, you might want to put a note up here that says hover to find just until people get used to that.
Okay.
Simply because, like I said, I clicked on events many times before I realized I had to come over and click on calendar. But maybe I'm just a slow learner. That is entirely possible.
Great suggestion. Thank you.
Ellie?
Yes.
Elizabeth noted that on the District 56 website, which I'm sharing on my screen right now,
okay.
if you go to menu
and
click on resources, you don't have to hover on resources, click on resources.
Okay.
There is a category of documents here.
Okay.
And club toolkit, I think is what she told me to go to. And then club officer roles.
Okay.
And looky there, secretary letter size, president letter size.
Very good.
Whole lot of resources out there.
Yeah. Michelle, are you there? That's the screen we need. Yeah.
Yes, I am here, and I have
Okay, great.
the website open on the other computer.
Great. Super.
All right.
Well, I like to have shortcuts because I have a very short attention span of how much time I want to spend in front of a screen. You know,
I understand.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Ellie, is this helping you at all?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So every time, even though I'm taking Zoom the second time, I find something out. The first time I couldn't see the screen the way you were showing it at all. So this time was good. And now I found out some other little things that, we are talking about, and I'm just happy.
Well,
Thank you very much.
And I'm going to be honest, I learn something every time I do this too. People show
Right.
me things all the time.
Right.
So when I start off by saying the worst thing that your computer can do is beep at you, I'm really serious about that. A lot of people say, well, how did you learn that? I just went out and started pushing buttons. I went out and started poking around and figuring out what things did. And, like I said,
But
the
see,
worst thing that can...
you have the patience. You have the patience to do this. You sit down to do it, and I don't have it. If it doesn't come up the way I want it, I'll just run away and I'll never do it. Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm going to get you signed up for a path today.
I should shut up.
By the end of the day, we'll have you signed up for a path.
Okay.
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 I promise I can get you there and we can get you signed up.
Thank you. I'm on my second path, actually.
Oh, well, then you've already done it.
Well, that doesn't mean I know it.
All right. Well, it is now 9:30, so we're going to go on to our third section. Come back to my slides. And we're going to go on to section 3. And section 3 of our class is called Elementary Explorers. And yes, that is me as a youngster in elementary school. Our 3 objectives for this section: we're going to locate, download, and explore the Toastmasters Navigator. Now, don't tell her I said, oh wait, is she on? Oh my goodness. Is Pamela McCown actually on this session? Wow. Well, don't tell Pamela that I said this, but 9 out of the 10 questions people ask about pathways are in the Navigator. And if you go ask Pamela those questions, she will tell you to read the Navigator. You might wonder how I know this.
Read and study.
There you go. She is online. All right. So these are our objectives. We want to locate, download, and explore the Toastmasters Navigator. The Navigator actually tells us all we need to know and more about many things, not just pathways. So let's go take a look. New share. I'm going to go back and share the my website screen again. All right, Toastmasters International. You can hardly explore the Toastmasters website without finding pathways, so we might as well just dive right in. If you click on the Pathways button, one of the things that is an option there is the Navigator. So if you click on the Navigator, you'll see this screen. Now, for those of you who are not friends with your computer on a regular basis, you prefer to have things you can hold and touch. If you come down here to the Navigator PDF, it will open the Navigator in just about any language you want. I prefer English. That's the one I actually sometimes understand. Click on the English, and it is going to put this Navigator on your screen. It's 26 or so pages. There's a little print button. You can print it out. You can download it and save a copy on your computer. Feel free at this point to download the Navigator. If you are having any difficulty at all in the chat window, I am putting a link to the Navigator download in English. Rose, is my picture better now?
Much.
My picture better now?
Much better.
Thank you. I had my screen tilted down because I was looking below it. All right, so everybody should have the Navigator link in the chat. Now let's just go check out the Navigator. If I do it in the PDF, it's not, it says it has the same kind of information as it does online. Online, there's actually videos included and even more information. But if you're a paper person, if you want to take that paper and hold it in your hand and put it in a binder and flip through it, you can absolutely download this, print it, and have your very own copy of the Navigator. All right, some tricks in the PDF. If you click, if you find what you want to find, if you say, oh, I want to know the meeting rules, if you hover over the page number and click, it will take you to that page. To get back to the beginning, on most people, if you click the home button, it'll take you back to the beginning. The home button on my keyboard is over on the right-hand side, just above my arrows. Not every keyboard has it in exactly the same place, but find the key that says home and it'll take you back to the beginning. Then you can go to your table of contents, find whatever else you want to look. Oh, I want to know about, I want to ask for a mentor. So I click on page 15 and it tells me how to ask for a mentor. To get back, again, find the home key on your keyboard. Everybody's keyboard may be a little bit different, and it'll take you back to the beginning. Worst case scenario, if you can't find the home key on your keyboard, scroll back up to the top. All right, so a lot of things available in the PDF version or paper version. Now, if you're in the paper version, you can't click the page number and have it take you there. Online, it'll do that, but the paper version, you're actually going to have to turn the pages. If you stay on the website and go Pathways, the Navigator, when you're here, these same sections, you'll notice if I look at the Navigator, I look at my sections, Welcome to Toastmasters, Explore the Basics. Online, Welcome to Toastmasters, your Toastmasters Club, Speech and Evaluations. Some stuff about the clubs. So a lot of the same information in here, just arranged slightly different. All right, so here we are. We're in the Navigator. Welcome to Toastmasters, your Toastmasters Club, Speeches and Evaluations, Pathways Learning Experience, and Expand Your Journey. In the session that starts at 10:30, we're going to spend all of our time down here in the Pathways Learning Experience. But the other things that I want you to see that are in the Navigator, your Toastmasters Club. If you click on that, what happens during a meeting? How do I participate in a meeting? Who leads my club? All sorts of information there that you can see. Over to the side, it gives you additional resources. Many a times you'll see videos over here that you can click on, and it will tell you, give you more information. This is a download. This is a piece of marketing material. Let's see. Who leads my club? Click on that. And look at that. All sorts of information about the officers, the president, the vice president, VPE, VPM, VPPR, secretary. How can the secretary help me? Well, look at that. All sorts of information here. So this is really good for new club members, taking them out and showing them how to find more information. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go under Welcome to Toastmasters. Welcome new members. I'm hearing lovely music. Do any of you hear this speech? Probably not. Who remembers what I need to do for you to hear this? Go ahead.
You have to click on.
I'm sorry?
Sound.
That's right. When I'm sharing, if I'm going to share a video, I need to make sure that I click share computer sound. We talked about that earlier. Very good. So now when I start
numerous ways. Just like you, I was a new member 17 years ago, and my life changed in ways I did not think was possible. In Toastmasters, you learn to become a better communicator and leader, and in the process, increase your confidence.
Very good. So I just wanted to demonstrate that, because when we were talking about sharing in the first hour, we said if you want people to hear the sound, you got to make sure you click the sound button. So get into something, you don't have the sound, don't panic. All I did is I went up to that where I was sharing, I said new share, went back in, clicked the little box, and you could hear the sound. Not a problem. But it can be a uh-oh moment if you're in the middle of a meeting and all of a sudden you don't have the sound you think you should. So obviously the videos are not in the paper version or the PDF version of the Navigator, but there are videos throughout the Navigator that actually demonstrate how to do things. And one of the best parts about a video is if you miss something, you just click on this, back it up, and start it again. So when they're showing you how to, if you missed it or if it just didn't take the first time, you can always back it up, or you can skip forward. So you have control over those videos. Now, let's go back to the Navigator and let's look at, let's see. Excuse me. Oh, let's go ahead and venture into Pathways a little. The Pathways learning experience. Ooh. This is the part that scares some people. Don't worry, worst it can do is beep at us, in which case, what are we going to do? Beep back. So in Pathways, there are, throughout the Navigator, it'll tell you all sorts of things about this. How will I work in Pathways? It's going to tell you what you can do. How to, in the base camp, you can access the paths. What's available in printed materials, what's available in base camp. There are printed materials for Pathways, but it's very limited as to what is available in print. So getting comfortable with it online is really going to be your best way to go to explore the entire breadth of what's available in Pathways. This is what I'm actually going to let you guys see, and I'm going to go ahead and play it for you.
Welcome to the Toastmasters Pathways Learning Experience, an exciting, flexible, and interactive way to develop your skills. Building on Ralph Smedley's original vision and Toastmasters' core competencies, Pathways upholds the club experience while offering new, revitalized educational content that helps you learn communication and leadership skills. The skills you will learn will give you a competitive advantage in the workplace and maximize your potential. Pathways allows you to leverage more than 300 competencies across more than 60 projects. These projects are divided into 11 specialized learning paths that allow you to tailor your experience to fit your goals and your pace. While all paths have the same level of difficulty and help to build public speaking skills and confidence, each path has its own unique focus. All 11 paths feature elective projects to choose from that allow you to further tailor your experience. All of this content is available online and is accessible from a computer, laptop, or tablet, allowing you to learn anytime, anywhere. Printed and accessible materials are also available. With Toastmasters members around the globe, we've also translated Pathways materials into a variety of languages, including French, simplified Chinese, and Spanish. If you'd like to work online, Basecamp is the place where you'll find all of the materials for your learning experience, along with tools for your journey. On Basecamp, you'll be able to share feedback with fellow club members, view badges you've earned, access and save digital speech evaluations, and more. When you first begin Pathways, you can take an optional online assessment that will recommend the path that best aligns with your goals. projects include a variety of interactive elements, including questionnaires, quizzes, menus, and expandable content. Educational videos model skills and provide demonstrations of the concepts you are learning. Pathways brings with it many new learning opportunities. It upholds your club experience while allowing you to tailor your education experience to fit your needs. And best of all, your first path is free with your membership. So what are you waiting for? Choose your learning path and you'll be well on the way to building a better you.
All right. How many people that was actually the first time they had seen that? Really? All right. Not there are videos throughout that will take you step by step through how to get into a path and get started. Now, when we're done with the navigator, the best way to dive into pathways is to go into what they call base camp. And I'm going to show you how you get there. If you go to the pathways button, go to base camp. If you go to your profile, go to base camp. It's a little like trying to avoid pathways. You can't avoid pathways on the website, and if it's really hard to avoid base camp. There's multiple ways to get there. When you go to base camp, one of the things that is important is if you're a member of more than one club, you want to pick which club you're going to be addressing when you go to base camp. Now, since Pamela's on this call, I'm going to pick Dining Out Toastmasters. And go.
Thank you, Carolyn.
You're welcome. So here I am in base camp. And this is where we're going to spend our next session getting signed up for a path. We're actually going to sign up for a path, but let me just show you a little bit about base camp before we go there. Pathways Learning Education Transcript. I can see all the things that I have done in Pathways. Now, if you're expecting to see somebody with a lot of big completions, let me just warn you that you're going to be disappointed. I have started 3 paths. I am in Engaging Humor, Innovative Planning, and Leadership Development. I can go into any of my 3 paths at any time. When I open the curriculum, I can view my training details, or I can move to an archive transcript. Opening the curriculum will show me what I have done and what I have left to do. So I have finished level 1, but if you look at level 2, I haven't started. Okay, so only my level 1 is done. Now I can still go see what's ahead in level 3 and in level 4 and even in level 5. It'll show me all of the things and let me see what's coming. So we're going to spend most of our time the next hour from 9:30 to 10:30. I'm sorry, from 10:30 to 11:30. We're going to be picking a path and getting started. So, but I wanted to show you a little bit about it as a start here. This is the one place I have found that when I click home, it doesn't take me back to the home screen. I don't know that they just haven't gotten that hooked up, but if I click on the Toastmasters Pathways, it will get me back to that. Okay, so the home button doesn't necessarily work here, but clicking on the Pathways Toast thing here. Now to get back to Toastmasters International from here, once you get into Pathways, I have found the best way to do that: open a new tab and open the Toastmasters International. There doesn't appear to be a link from the Pathways spot itself back in to Toastmasters International, at least not that I have found. So if somebody else has found one and would like to share that, I'm more than happy to learn something. But from within inside, well, I can return to my Toastmasters profile. That would get me there, wouldn't it? Oh, there you go. I just taught myself something. Now I'm back at the Toastmasters International site. There you go. After all of that, I figured out how to do it.
Carolyn, those buttons on Pathways while you're in there are hover buttons also, and that will drop down below, and you have to click on the home below the home.
That's a hover button?
Well, pick one of the other ones, and it'll probably demonstrate what you're.
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually
Well,
that's what happens on home. See, there you go.
Look at that. Huh. Huh. Everybody gets to learn something today. Very good. Very good. All right. Well, within Pathways, so some of the things that we're going to see and learn throughout Pathways, we're going to be giving speeches. We're going to have lots of resources available to us. Tutorials and resources. This is a great button for getting started. In here, there are 360 degree evaluations. Has anybody done a 360? Anybody ever done a 360? I've done one at a job, and basically it has you fill out things about yourself, and then you pick a couple other people, and they can give you feedback, and that can sometimes help you decide which way you want to go. I think I do really well at this, but oh wow, other people say that's something I need to work on. So maybe it's something I want to take a look at. But there's all sorts of things in that, the training and resources, sorry. There are even tutorials on how to access your path, accessing certificates. There's one other that I was looking for. Yes. The Basecamp glossary gives you all the information, all the definitions for Basecamp. I would recommend doing it in the language that you understand the best. Overview of Basecamp Manager. If you are the VPE or the president or the secretary or somebody who has access to Basecamp, this is an excellent start as an online starter for how to get into Basecamp and do things in Basecamp. Now, I have not been a VPE in the Pathways program, but I can promise you that if I was assigned that, if that was the role I was in, this would be where I would first go to start. How did I get there? Pathways and Learning from my homepage. Whoops. Homepage, because Pam taught me how to do that. Tutorials and resources. Just about anything you could want to know. If there's something in Pathways that is not here as a tutorial, feedback, my feedback, request and give feedback to your club members, but there should be a button in here on how to give them feedback for Pathways too. I saw that somewhere. We'll find that. You can always go out to the Toastmasters International site and let them know what else you're looking for. Anyway, I can see all the paths that I'm on. I can go in and look at my badges. If you're not familiar with the badges and Pathways, I have earned one level 1 badge, and I have started 3 paths. So my total badges here, 5 total. Let's see them all. There's feedback. I don't have any feedback badges. I have learning badges. It says I have 5, but I only see 4. Oh, I have 2 level 1s because I just achieved my other level 1. So those are those. If somebody in my club had given me feedback on something, they said I was creative, or they said I was innovative, or they said, then those badges would be here under feedback. But I don't have any of those badges yet. Hint, hint, hint. Some of you are in some of my clubs. My Basecamp profile talks about me. I can let people know what I'm interested in.
Got it.
If I want to,
excuse me, I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
If you, how do you get the badge? Does the president have to assign you the badge, or does it go automatically? You get
anybody in your club can send you a badge, and you can send a badge to anybody in your club.
But it's not done automatically after you finish. It has to be assigned by a person, right?
Well, the badge for completing the level, once they say I've completed it, it will automatically come in, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I turn it in, and then they approve it and say, yep, it's done, and then it will show up.
And after I complete a speech, then I have to be given credit by another person, right?
Well, when you complete your speech, when you complete your speech and you get your evaluation, you go into your pathways and you say that you've done it. There'll be a evaluation for you to take on yourself, and that's the self-evaluation at the end is sort of what closes out that.
I really have to do that. I really have to do that, and I'm learning from you what to do. So
okay,
I need to go in and do it.
Yeah, you got to go in and do it. Pathways isn't going to know you did it until you tell it.
Right.
So, for example, let me go into one of these real quick.
I did the first speech.
Yes. So I'm going to open my engaging humor curriculum. My icebreaker, it says it's done.
Yeah, I did my icebreaker.
Right. But if I don't go in and if I don't, this is the evaluation for that project. I don't have to do the evaluation on the project. But if I don't go in and tell it, yep, I've done this, and do my self-evaluation, it's not going to know that I finished it.
Well, I didn't know how to do it. Now that I do, I just go in and tell it.
Yeah, you go in and launch. So you go in and launch.
Launch? Where is that?
You got to launch the curriculum.
Okay. I'm writing. Go ahead.
It's coming. Any day now.
Launch the curriculum.
All right, so I go in, it says, congratulations, you have completed this project. You're now ready to advance to the next project. So I know I've done this one, but I know that because I've already done the assess your skills after, so I have my before and my after scores. If I don't do the pieces in the curriculum, it's not going to let me finish. So when you launch one of these and you start off, there's all sorts of things that it actually walks you through the whole project.
Okay.
Okay, so when I first came into this, it tells me this is my assignment. This is the purpose of it. This is the overview.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the next piece. I do a self-assessment. Now, I've already done this one, you can see, because it's grayed out. But if I hadn't, I would need to do this before it would let me go on to the next. I mean, if I don't do this, it's not going to let me complete the project.
Okay.
So I do the self-evaluation. Go to next, get the next question, go to next, get the next question. Now, I've done all of these, so I'm going to skip past that. Then I went through and I watched and I listened and I learned throughout the competency section. I look at all the information that it tells me. There's different places I can play videos. I can come in, there's interactive pieces in this, some of them. Here's one that has a video. I can come in here, I can open the icebreaker speech outline. I will share with you, I love the icebreaker speech outline. I love this outline. I use this for just about all my speeches. Some format of this I use for just about everything. I have to adapt it a little bit, but it is fabulous. Absolutely love it. I can actually get a view of it. I can download it right here. Click that button, download. When you download something, the biggest trick to downloading is knowing where you put it. Okay, when you download something, it's going to open up a browser, Explorer on your computer. This is in Windows. Apple, it may look a little different, but it's going to be similar. You need to know where you've put it. I strongly suggest that you create a Toastmasters folder somewhere and put your stuff there. And then once you're in your Toastmasters folder, you may actually want to make a folder within a folder for each path, because you're going to start downloading things. And if you just hit download and you don't know where you've put it, it's going to be hard for you to find things. So what I've done, I have this is my work computer, so I actually have personal section of this, it says Toastmasters, and then within Toastmasters, you'll see I've got folders for Dining Out Toastmasters, for North Houston Project Manager, for my speeches, for Pathways, for different, I have all these folders. So if I'm in here and I start downloading things, I want to make sure I'm in the right folder and put it where I know I can find it later.
So do you have to, you download it, create the folder, and you have to type the information, and can you transfer it from Toastmasters to that and you don't have to type in what? I hope I'm not.
Well, to make a folder, Toastmasters, you can't transfer it that way, but when you make a new folder, you just click new folder and then put the name in. Yeah.
You have to type it in. It doesn't work automatically now.
No,
I
it
should
does
know
not.
better.
It's not going to know what you want to name your folder.
Right.
You have to tell it what you want it to name it.
And then you type it in.
And then you type it in. And so now I could put my icebreaker speech here, and it'll download it to that folder.
So I could click on download and
and put it where you want it.
Okay.
But again, the trick to downloading is put it where you know you can find it, so you can get back to it.
So it's best to create a folder.
I suggest creating a folder.
It sounds good to me.
I live with someone who downloads everything to their screen.
Mm-hmm.
My method makes them crazy. Their method makes me crazy. So your method is your method, and as long as you can figure it out, that's fabulous for you.
I like the idea of creating a folder so I can find it.
There you go. If folders work for you, that's fine. But if you're one of those people that wants to keep everything on your desktop, I'm not going to tell you can't do it. It makes me crazy, but that's up to you.
I just need to do what I need to do with that first speech, the icebreaker. After I completed it, and I need to do something with it.
All right, so download icebreaker speech outline, view icebreaker speech outline worksheet. Go to the next thing, tells me how to organize my speech. Keep going. Prepare and present, write it out, remember your outline. So it actually takes me step by step through what I need to do. Rehearse with family or friends. Now, do I have to look at every one of these slides every time? Now, I've done icebreakers before. I know quite a bit of these. It doesn't hurt me to go through them, but I don't have to watch every single slide. If it's your first time, I absolutely would look at every single slide. On slides like this, where it's talking about the timing, the pacing, if you click on things, it gives you more information. These are all interactive. They're designed to walk people through step by step. If you're not sure what to do on a page, directions. Select each button to reveal more information. I mean, they actually give you the directions on how to use the outline. After my speech, I'm going to receive feedback. Listen to my evaluator. It gives me step by step what I should do after my speech. I'm going to evaluate myself, review, complete. Now that you have read through the project and project plan and prepare your speech, here's your project checklist. This tells me all the things I need to do. I need to schedule the speech with my VPE. I need to write my speech. I need to rehearse my speech. Step by step, what to do to complete this project. Do I have to download this and fill this out every time? No, but it's here and it's available. Then I'm going to do my evaluation at the end. Once I've done my evaluation at the end, I will have completed it. The next step for me is I have to, what I do is I send it on. There's a, and I'm not sure it's going to let me do this because I don't have one that I haven't done yet, but there'll be basically a submit button, and I submit it and it goes off to my VPE, and now it's up to them. I've submitted it, I've finished it, I've submitted it. They're going to take it from there, and that's when it'll go on to my transcript. Okay. That was a lot of information.
Yes.
What questions do you have? Because I know you've got them.
Now that I've completed my icebreaker, I know I should have done the steps, but I didn't really know how to do it. So I'm at the point of what you just said, what you told us to do, to go pull it up and do my checklist or do my self-evaluation and send it to the person who has to, the VP you said. Did you hear me, Carol?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I'm at the point where I need to complete the last steps. I can't hear you. I don't know why.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yes.
There you go.
I have to assess myself, evaluate myself.
Yeah.
That's
So,
the
and then when you, yep, you evaluate yourself, and then you'll be able to submit it in.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
with icebreaker, Carolyn, that's part of level 1, right?
That's part of level 1, yes. That doesn't finish the whole level though. That's just that first piece.
It's the first piece. It's the
first piece. So I've done the first piece. Now I need to go on to the next piece, the evaluation and feedback. So now I'm going to activate the second part of my deal. At the end of, once I've done all 3 pieces of level 1, then I'll be able to submit it to the VPE. That's what Rose was going to chime in and tell me. I don't have to submit each project. I have to submit the level at the end of the project.
Oh, okay. You don't submit anything until you finish. You
So
can
you finish the level.
Just do the self-evaluation for each.
The self-evaluation, and now I can go on to the next piece. So now I can launch evaluation and feedback and start going through it.
That sounds good.
Okay.
And, one other question.
Now, go ahead.
For each path, okay, it's free for the first path, so we have to pay for the second path?
Yes, it's $20, I believe.
Okay, but when we had, I see, it's the same as the book,
same as a book.
Because we had to pay for each book, didn't we?
Yep. So now I'm ready to start my evaluation and feedback.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
now,
you.
if I went to one of my other paths where I finished, like leadership development, I go in where I am here. So it shows me what I have in here. I have my online, the icebreaker class, the evaluation and feedback, that's all done. There's navigator. So actually I can get to the navigator even from here. This is going to show me all of the things involved in the levels. So level 1, the icebreaker, the evaluation, the research and presenting. Level 2, I have managing time, understanding your leadership styles, introduction, and then the level 2 completion task. Level 3, all the pieces to it. So I can see all the things that are in each of the levels just by opening the path. Now, if I open the curriculum, that's when I get over into the little boxes here. Okay, so here's my level 1 that I finished, and I can actually, this is when you finish, and I misspoke earlier, my mistake. I was acting like I could do it at the end of icebreaker, but after I've done the icebreaker, the evaluation, and the research and presenting, I come down here, and this is when I can't do it here because I've already done it, but this is where you would do the sending it on to the VPE. So now when I look at level 2, which is where I'm ready to start, I can come in and look at any of these. I can activate them, and I can go in and start looking at them. Even I can look at them out of order. I don't have to. I mean, I don't have to do them in order. It's advisable to do them in order, but I can come into any of these, launch it, and start off. It's going to take it a second. Understanding my leadership style, and I'm ready to begin. Step by step, it will take me through everything I need There was my project checklist right there. Here's my self-evaluation before. I haven't done it yet. Competencies, discover my leadership style. Since I haven't been here before, so it's going to remind me of the directions. I'm not doing it right now, obviously. I'm just skipping through these. But every step of the way, here's my project checklist. Everything I need to know about that project. And the evaluation at the end. At the end, now if I went now and tried to do this, it's not going to let me because I haven't done the evaluations. It's going to make me go through and do the evaluations. Okay. Each level has a number of projects. All paths have 5 levels. So 11 paths, 5 levels per path, multiple projects per path, per level. All right. Questions? Where have I lost anybody?
Right here.
Right here.
I had to unmute myself first. Okay, the person who evaluates you. Okay, is that person supposed to go in and put your evaluation there or what?
They can do it online, or if they give it to you, you can actually upload it. You can attach things in your own profile.
What if the person cannot attach it to yours, right?
I believe, I know they can. You know, I have never gone in and actually attached something to anybody else. I don't think I can attach anything to your profile. I can go in and download the form and then send it to you and you can upload it. But let's ask somebody who knows more about this than I do. Pamela, I can't go into anybody else's profile and upload anything, I don't think.
Go into your feedback right now. And I'm logged in on my computer in Dining Out.
Oh, I see you.
And I gave you some feedback for today.
Oh, look at that. She gave me a badge.
Oh, that was nice.
Isn't that sweet?
Yes.
All right, and I'm going to try to go in to you again.
So I can request feedback and get it to. I know that I can give other people badges, but I don't know if I can go directly in and do your evaluation on your profile.
Well, how do I request feedback?
Oh yeah, Carolyn, you can.
Okay. So here's
because when I'm saying share my feedback, I can. There's a little paperclip there, and I could upload something.
Okay. Cool.
So, you know, if you go in there and try to send me something, you can see that because I'm logged in to Dining Out. So pick me.
There's Pamela.
And then pick feedback up there in the big menu.
Up there.
So I see a sign that says yes.
So now I'm giving Pamela feedback. Ooh, look at that.
All right, so you see that little paperclip?
Paperclip.
Yeah, you
I could attach a file. So if I did a paper evaluation of Pamela, I could upload it right here for her. Now I can only do it for people who's in my club, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And in a case where you have a second club, you have to go tell them, hey, go log in.
Yeah, go log in.
Club. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get instant feedback.
You can get instant feedback.
Exactly.
And it's what helps you when you can get this feedback.
That's correct.
Right, and this can replace your notes and votes even. If you have those little paper forms in your meeting and you don't have them anymore now because you're online, you could go in here and type in your feedback directly into that person's profile.
So you just click on the word feedback. I see feedback in the left-hand corner of my screen.
And then you have to go up into the search up there and search for your member.
Go into the search and do what? I couldn't hear.
In the member name. So like if I'm trying to give Carolyn feedback, I'm going to go up into that search to find her, and then it'll show her profile to me.
So it's her name would already be there because you're in Pathways, right?
Yeah, let me walk you through. I'll show you. So right now, welcome to Base Camp Carolyn, right? I want to go in and I want to give feedback to somebody else. I'm going to come over to feedback.
Okay.
All right. Now, Pamela gave me feedback. If I want to give Pamela feedback, I can, because she's given me some, I can click on her right here, or I know I can.
You can search for me up there in that right-hand top box. See the search box on the right-hand side on the very top?
There it is.
Put my
So
name
now
in there.
I'm going to type in.
And it's Pamela.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
So I picked Charla because she's also in our club. So I can, here's Charla, and I can give her feedback. So now I've got Charla up here. I can give Charla feedback. So I could go in and type in a note about Charla.
Yeah, type. Let me see the box. Share your feedback. Okay. I see.
Okay. And there you go. I just sent her some feedback. And now if I want to give Pamela feedback, I come over here on the right-hand side.
Okay.
There's Pamela McCown. I can give Pamela feedback.
So you go to the top first.
Yeah, go up here and find them. And then I come over, and this is her Basecamp profile. I want to give her feedback, so I click on the feedback button. And I say,
okay, share your feedback. Well, you have more than just that space, right?
oh yeah, you can keep typing.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if I want to give a badge, so see, I can type in my feedback. Right now it's going to Pamela. Or I can attach something. If I have done a written out evaluation, I could attach it to this. I could say, you did a great job on your speech tonight, and attach my actual.
Wait a minute, Carol. You attach it by clipping on, is that a?
It's a paper clip.
It's a paper clip. Means attach. Okay.
You have to make sure that you have a photo of it or have.
Yeah. So when you attach. So Pamela, I'm going to attach something to yours that's not necessarily relevant.
Okay.
So when I go to attach, I have a choice. I can search. If I say select a file, it's going to bring up the Explorer, and so I go back in and I go find. This is why I keep all my Toastmasters stuff in the Toastmasters folder, so that I can go find the things I need. I can go find the document I want. Pick what I want. So right now I'm sending her a copy. I'm going to attach a copy of my presentation for her. Oh, I can't because it's in use. That was a good idea though.
Really have to practice, because if you're in a meeting and you want to get feedback, that takes time.
You're right. You're right.
Well, you can do it after the meeting's over.
Yeah.
Just take your notes and then type them in here afterwards.
So I can actually upload that whole thing to her. Now, another way I can do this, if I don't want to have to go, if I already have it on my screen, if I already know what I want to give her, I've got it in my folder. Let's say I'm in here.
That's the folder that you said that you saved, right?
That I save everything in, yeah. So I have my dot folder, and I even do it by meeting date, because I'm just anal retentive that way. But let's say I took a picture of Pamela and I wanted her to have it. I wanted her to be able to have a copy of her picture. Let's see if I took one of it. Oh, look at there. There's one of Pam. I can actually just pick it up and drag it into that box, and it'll give it to her that way.
Okay, tell me about the taking pictures. I guess I'm in a computer class now. Well, taking the picture.
We'll get there, okay? We'll get there.
I'm not going to ask any more questions, Carol.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But I can both of those. Now I can either post this and send it to her, or Pam may not actually want these things. I'll go ahead and send her her picture.
This is really interesting.
Oh, I think I have to put something in there.
And it's something.
There we go. And off it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can't give you feedback because I'm not in your club.
Okay.
I'd have to be in your club to be able to give you feedback. So a couple of, about a month ago, I did a session and I was giving out badges, and I couldn't give the badges to the people, so I had to send emails to all the club presidents and ask them to give badges for me because I couldn't give badges to people who weren't in my club. Shelley, you look like you suddenly got really interested. What'd we say? You're muted.
Just looking.
Oh, okay. I just all of a sudden saw you sit forward. I thought, uh-oh, we got her interested now. What does she need?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right.
Carolyn, it's Elizabeth. Yes. This is exactly what Shelley and I just went through last week. For example, at U of H main campus at Cougar Rhetoric, I gave Shelley an evaluation. But since I am their mentor and I'm not a member of their club, I downloaded the fillable PDF evaluation on her speech. I saved it. Then I sent it to her because I could not upload it directly to Pathways. And then
but she could upload it herself.
Yes, and I emailed it to her and I taught her how to upload it to her profile. And I believe that's the aha moment she was having that you saw when she.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yes, that's it.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the International Toastmasters. I'm going to walk you through how to get to Pathways again. Then I'm going to have you guys show me your screens so I can see that you're following along, and we'll be ready to move forward. Okay. So I'm going to start from scratch. Toastmasters International. This is your review. It remembers me. I can go to Pathways and click. I can go to my profile and click. Doesn't really matter which way I go. I can go to Education and click. But I'm going to go to Basecamp. When I go into Basecamp this way, look, here's my friend the Navigator. If I want to launch the Navigator and go look at the things that we talked about before, it's right here. Choose your path. We're going to do that next time. Access my path through Basecamp. Dining Out Toastmasters, go to Basecamp. And here I am. Once I'm in Basecamp, I can go look at my paths. Okay, I can get here from here. I can go up here and look at my paths and learning. If I want to speech evaluations, access any project evaluation source. So any path you have, here's the evaluation for it. So there's generic ones for icebreakers. There's generic ones you can use for anything. But for connecting with your audience, for whatever title of the project is, you can find an evaluation form for it right here. How do I access my evaluation resource on Basecamp? Looky there, gives you information. How do I give my evaluator access to my evaluation resource? 2 ways. I can tell them the project name, they can go find it, or I can download it and send it to them. Let's go back to my paths and learning. There's my 3 paths. All right. If you haven't yet signed up for a path, fear not. In 7 minutes, we're going to start from the beginning and have everybody sign up for a path who's not signed up for a path. How many people are not signed up for a path? Raise your hand. All right, Shirley, you're going to get signed up for a path. Fran, we're going to sign you up for a path. Who else is not signed up for a path? Go ahead, you can admit it. Everybody else is signed up? Okay. All right. Well, then let's do a little quiz. Leticia, share your.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Quick question. I missed all of the first session, the what I want to say idiot's beginning, but that's not it.
If you missed any of these sessions, there's another one next Saturday. There's a session on Wednesday that starts with the tutorial, the tour of the.
It's the second one, and I haven't done the first one.
Okay. Next Saturday they start at 7:30.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Next Saturday they start at 7:30. All right. So back to Leticia. You're not off the hook. Leticia, I want you to share your screen and take us to the international website.
Okay. I'm on an iPad and I
Oh, that's right. You're on an iPad. My bad. My bad. Okay, you're off the hook.
Well, okay.
Let's try. Joe, take us to the international website. Share your screen. Take us to the international website. I'm going to stop sharing so that you can share. Kiki around the corner. All right. Good job, Joe. I see your screensaver with your big rock. There you go. All right. You're at the international website. Perfect. Now click on the pathways. Very good. Go to Basecamp. Very good. And look at that. So you are, yeah, just click that. That's a tour of the new, okay. Very good. So you are signed up for a path on presentation mastery. And you already have the 360 evaluation resource, the navigator. Perfect. Good job. Great, Joe. So how far have you gotten on your path?
Not very far.
Not very far?
Yeah. This is my second one.
Your second path, or you're on your second project?
I'm on my second project.
Very good. All right. Well done. Well done. How about, let's see, Maria, can you take us to yours and let us see yours? Just making sure everybody can get there. Okay, you're talking, but we can't hear you because you're muted.
I finished presentation mastery. I'm in engaging humor.
Oh, very good. Can you share your screen and show us?
Oh, just a minute. Okay. Can you see this?
Well, that's one way to do it.
Right.
Do you remember how to share your screen on Zoom, or is that on a different computer?
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is my Apple computer, and that's the other.
Okay. So you logged on a different computer.
Yes.
That works.
Because it was hard for me to see that very tiny stuff there. So I just
There you go. Hey, that absolutely works, Marie. Very good. Very good. All right. Let's see. Who said that? Well, there's Wendell. So we got a couple other people who have joined us. Mr. Bailey, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Can you show us your Basecamp?
Sure. Let me get back there. Share screen. Oops.
There we go.
Can you see it?
I can see your screen.
Okay.
You're on your profile. And there he
Base
goes.
camp.
Going off to base camp, West City Toastmasters.
It's slow.
It is a little slow. Probably because we have so much video going on.
It's still spinning.
Yeah. There you go.
Is there a way to keep this from popping up every time?
Yes, you can disable your pop-up blocker.
Oh, I thought they were disabled already. Okay. Okay.
There you go. If
Cool.
you go to Paths and Learning, and we can see what paths if he went to Paths and Learning, we'd see what paths Robert was on.
I'm on this one right now.
Dynamic leadership. Very good.
Yes.
Very good. All right. Who can tell me how many paths there are?
11.
11.
11. What if I wanted to know which paths there were? How would I find that out?
It shows you in Basecamp.
Does it?
Yeah.
Can you show me where it shows you?
Oh, I can't show you on this computer, but let's try. I'll go in here. Okay, go to Basecamp. Here, choose a path. I'm clicking on that, it's not working. Okay, it is. Okay, right here.
Now share your screen.
Okay.
You got to share your screen for us to see it.
Okay, how do I do that? Click on the Zoom again?
In Zoom, click on the little green arrow, the bottom of the page.
Okay, 1 minute. I'm not getting that. Well, the share the screen, that's what you're telling me, but I'm not.
So on the Zoom screen, do you see all of us on the Zoom screen, or do you just see one person?
I'm just seeing what I went to. I went to Basecamp, so that's what I'm seeing. But that's open, so let's see. This is probably it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I see
There
it
you
now.
are. There you are. We
Select-
see you, Marie.
Yes. And
okay.
Okay. And so from here, I would click on select digital resources and continue, and then see all the paths.
Very good. Is there another place that you can see paths? Anybody know another place to see them?
Yes, right off the Pathways main site.
The Pathways main site. So if I go to Pathways,
and just click on the word Pathways.
mm-hmm. Can you show us on your screen, Charlotte?
Oh, sure. Oops, sorry. Clicked the wrong thing. Okay, I don't have access to share.
Yeah. Marie, can you stop sharing so that Charlotte can share?
Sure. I'll stop sharing.
There you go. Now Charlotte can share.
Okay, and then let me go home. Okay, so I was in Pathways, and let's try to go back.
You want to go to Toastmasters International?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just pull up another one.
Yeah, that's what I find a lot of times that's the fastest way for me to get there. Otherwise, I have to go back through too many screens.
Okay. And from here, without even having to sign out, although I could on Pathways, click on the word Pathways. And this is good for any person that even wants to come to your club. Anyone has access to this without even logging on. Here's the Pathways page. And then if we just scroll down, paths and projects. Yay.
Look at all those. Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else have another place to show us where the paths are? I have an unconventional way.
Show us.
You want to see the unconventional way?
Yes.
Yes, yes, please enlighten us, oh guru.
So here's Charlotte's Way. I had Charlotte's Way as well. I did know that one. If you go to shop and you go to recognition and you go to pathways.
In shop, you have pathways?
In shop, you have pathways, believe it or not. And there's all the pins. Now, that's not necessarily the best way to go, but it is a way. Yeah. So I can actually see the pins for all the paths, the engaging humor, integrative planning, mastery. Now, here's my suggestion to Toastmasters International. From here, there should be a way to get to that path. But yes, you can go see all the paths in pins. I know this because I did this the other day and asked somebody, okay, show me what path you're working on, and I ended up in the shop. They showed me what pin they were working on by taking me to the shop, and they said, I'm working on this one. I was like, all right, that shows me what you're working on. There's no wrong answer there. So there you go. All right. Well, it is 10:35, and what I intended to do at 10:30 was to make sure everybody got to the base camp and was ready to go through an assessment if necessary and pick a path. I want to give you guys a couple of minutes for a break because we ran over, so I apologize. So at 10:40, we will start up again. That gives everybody 5 minutes. Collect yourself, get your coffee, take a bio break, stretch your legs, whatever it is you need to do. 10:40, we will restart.
Carolyn.
Yes, ma'am.
If I have already selected my path, what is the advantage of logging on for 10:40? If I've already selected my path, is there an advantage?
Just, our engaging faces and company.
Well, I'm going to have to log off, but then next Wednesday, you are going to give us a review, or that would be the second portion of.
That's correct. That's correct. But if you've already signed up for a path, Barbara, and you're comfortable doing that, that is my goal at the end of that session, is for everybody to have a path. So if you already have one, you're good to go.
Get her and log on after I finish doing my next activity at home. I will go back, and thank you for teaching me that. I will go back and do what I was supposed to do with that assessment, self-evaluation.
Yes, yes. And I apologize for being confusing on that one. I did mess that up.
Confused. I'm just always happy to learn. And then next week I'll see you at, I forgot the time. I have to look at the time. Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, today's Saturday. I haven't thought about Wednesday yet.
Well, don't worry about it. I have it
Charlotte. Charlotte.
Who are you looking for, Fran?
Yes,
looking
Fran.
for Charlotte.
Okay.
Hi, Fran.
Hi, Charlotte. Are you available next Saturday to walk me through that again?
Yes, we can. Definitely.
Because I didn't write that fast.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll see you Saturday.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll send you the website, the Spanish website, okay?
All righty, thank you.
Like this to refresh, it's a beginning. And you start at the beginning, then you work your way through. And I hope you like it.
All right, thank you.
And it is free. You don't have to pay.
Oh, sir, super.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Earlier when you were talking, you were under Navigator. Did
Yes,
I understand you to say that if you're evaluating somebody and you don't have their evaluation sheet, you can go find it?
Yes, you can actually.
I went under Navigator and it says speeches and evaluations. And then I went to resource and resource library. Is that where you were, or?
Let's see, I went to.
I know you're in Pathways too.
Yeah, I think I was in Pathways.
Mm-hmm.
And so under pathways.
Evaluation resources.
Yeah, I thought there was a.
Carolyn, you were in pathways, and then when you were in the path, it was speech evaluations.
I went to base camp and I went to speeches, tutorials and resources, I believe is where I went and found all the, so in pathways, tutorials and resources. Is that not where I went?
Under speech evaluations.
From the speech evaluations.
Yeah, so, but from right here, you can go tutorials, evaluation resources. And it'll give you.
Tutorials and evaluation resources. Okay. All right. Thank you.
That's what, there's definitely more than one way to get places.
Thank you.
Navigator.
Hey, Carolyn,
Yes.
is it okay if I try to share my screen again? Because I had that bug
Sure.
when I first did it.
Yes, you can. I will
I'm
stop.
gonna go ahead and try it again. Thank you. I'm sharing my online class training details from the TI website.
Yes, you are. Perfect, Brent.
Okay,
Perfect.
thank you so much.
Absolutely. And Missy, I think this is the one you were looking for. With all the evaluation resources.
Screen though. Oh.
I
So
see it, yeah.
So you went from, you were in base camp. You went to the base camp.
Yeah, what I did is from home in my path, I just went to speech evaluations. Access any project speech evaluation resource. And there's all of them. Select a project below. There's the icebreaker one. Evaluations and feedback 1, evaluations and feedback 2. Planning and implementation. The research one. Researching and presenting. So whatever project you have, all of the resources are there. And that's also, if you're evaluating anybody else, you can go get their the evaluation specific to their project there.
That's what I wanted. Thank you.
Okay, does that help? Yep. Home, speeches and evaluations. Okay. Who has not signed up for a path? Shirley, are you ready? You're muted.
I am.
Okay. So Shirley, we're all going to go on an adventure with you. Are you ready?
Wonderful.
Okay, can you share your screen? I'm going to stop sharing my screen. You share your screen.
I can do that. Okay. And can you see it? Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
All right, let's see what's going on here.
You did it earlier.
I know. I'm surprised it's not there now.
Did you click the green button at the bottom? There you go. Now you're coming on.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect. All right. So take us to base camp. However you find There you go. That'll work. Pathways. Perfect. Go to Basecamp. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Scroll down just a little bit. All right. So you have not signed up for any paths, right?
No,
So it says,
I know which one I took the assessment, so I
You
do
did take
know
the assessment.
where I want to go.
Okay.
I did. I took
All
this.
right. Well, click
So
continue to path selection.
Okay.
All right. Select your. There you go. You don't even need me. You want to do digital or do you?
Of course.
Digital resource right there. Select that one right there. That blue. Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, I did that. And then continue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So was presentation mastery the one you wanted, or do you want to look at all the options?
That's why I was trying to get to the options.
There you go. View all paths.
Pathways. Okay.
There you go. Now hit continue at the bottom.
And then I am here.
So innovative planning, that's the one you want?
Yes.
Okay, now scroll down to the bottom. Click continue.
Doug.
Confirm your selection.
Okay.
You are all set. Look at you. Look at you.
Right.
You signed up for a path. All right, you want to get started?
I do.
Okay, so go back to Basecamp.
Okay.
Yeah, just click that little X. You'll be fine. They've changed the look of the screen, so they wanted you to. If you don't ever want to see that again, there's a little box there that says, "Do not show me the message again." See it there in the middle of the box? Go down. There you go. Click on that. Now click the X, and next time it won't bring it up. The X. There you go. I'm pointing to it on my screen, but that's not helping you. All right.
Okay.
So go to your. Go to Paths and Learning.
Okay.
Looks like it's still getting uploaded on your stuff here. Oh, pop-up blocker is turned off. So you still have your pop-up blocker on. Let's see. Oh, and you're on a Mac. I'm not as familiar with it. Yeah, I'm not as familiar with the pop-up blocker on the Macs. Do we have a Mac expert online with us?
I'm not a Mac expert, but when I had clicked on that pop-up blocker, it tells me what to do.
It tells you what to do?
Yeah. If on this, ensure that your pop-up blocker is turned off, click on that and it will tell you what to do.
Okay. All right, so let's go back a box. Let's go back a screen. Shirley.
Go back. Okay.
Yeah.
You can just click on this, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah, now click on that one again and see if it'll bring up the pop-up thing again. Nope. All right, check out. Yeah, this is where I don't know Max very well.
And that's not being very kind to me because I usually, where I went to.
Yeah. I think I messed you up. That pop-up blocker came on and I had you click out of it instead of clicking on it, and it would have let you take off your pop-up blocker.
No, you have to click on that, ensure that your pop-up blocker is.
Yeah, but I had her X out of that, and so you might have to restart Safari for it to come up again.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Safari. Hold on. Go to edit.
How about if?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, now it's okay.
There you go. Now you've got it. Okay, now you can see your innovative planning. There you go.
Oh, great.
Open your curriculum.
Okay. Okay.
And there you are, ready for level 1.
All righty.
Okay, so view details. You go for it, girl.
All right.
All right. You can stop sharing your screen. Who else hasn't signed up for a path yet? Wendell, are you signed up for a path? Wendell has left us. Pamela Williams, are you signed up for a path?
I'm here. Sorry, it took me a little time. Yes,
Oh,
I
okay.
am signed up. I am
Okay,
signed
good.
up for a path.
Very good. Pamela Williams, are you signed up for a path? Nobody gets out without a path. Michelle, you good? You got a path?
I'm on team collaboration. Yes, thank you.
Very good. All right, well, if everybody has a path, that's the objective of this part, is to get everybody signed up for a path. And I think you guys were just shy about it because you already were signed up for paths.
Yep.
Does anybody need help within a path? Anybody need help navigating within their path now? You haven't. All right. Anybody need help uploading anything? We did that before, but we can do it again where we uploaded, if we want to upload an evaluation or upload anything.
I just put it in folders on my computer.
That works, but you know you can upload it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, somebody asked earlier about pictures, and if nobody has any more questions, I'll go ahead and do the picture question.
What's the picture question?
I see you, but I can't hear you. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay, so on my, somehow on where it says paths and learning, okay, I've got effective coaching, I've got visionary communication. Somehow I got navigator on there, and I don't really know how, and it says launch. I don't really know. I didn't mean to put navigator on my paths and learning.
It's not going to hurt you to have it there. It's just the navigator that tells you, gives you all the helpful information about clubs and everything.
Went over with. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I am having some issues loading and downloading stuff, so I didn't know if that was the case because of the launch thing on.
Yeah.
Because
no,
that won't have anything to do with it.
That won't have anything to do with it. No.
Okay. So then let me open up my curriculum because I will have a question then.
Okay.
So effective coaching. When I do launch, the only thing I get is the little arrow. The only thing I get is launch, view training details, and move to archive transcript. And you've been showing other items under your launch, and I don't have those.
Let me go look and see what.
Maybe that's why I haven't been able to download anything. But I've got about 8 speeches I need to download.
Okay. Upload or download? Okay, so in your Basecamp.
Okay. So go back to Basecamp or what?
Yeah, go back to Basecamp.
Okay.
And
come back to Basecamp. All right, I'm back to, okay, so it says go to Basecamp. I'm a member of 3 clubs, so just go to San Felipe Plaza, go to there.
Pick one, yep.
Okay, and
can you get into Pathways, the screen like I'm showing now, where you can see Welcome to Basecamp and your name?
Let's see here.
I know you can't share your screen because you're on your iPad, so.
Welcome to Basecamp Letitia.
Okay.
Oh, hold on just a second. It just started talking.
That's okay. So below your name, there should be paths and learning, and you have your paths there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And so you pick one and say open curriculum.
Okay. Open curriculum.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And then, so then the button for mine says launch. The other things I can pick are view training details or move to archive transcripts. All I need to do is hit launch to get it to come up.
Oh. I didn't see that launch under there. So I pressed, and then it says, no, I mean, no, it just moved me to visionary communication, and then it moved me to the navigator that I said that I had on there. It just moves me to the next step. It doesn't.
So are you looking at this on another computer? Can you
Yes.
Can you point your iPad at that so I can see it?
Sure. Okay. So, oh. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm gonna make you big. Pin video. Let's see. Okay, so hold it up just a little bit more.
Okay.
Oh, up, other way.
The other way.
Yeah.
There.
You just
all I can see is the top now. Let me see the.
Okay, I'm sorry, I can't see what I'm doing.
Lower on your screen.
Okay.
Okay, let me see if I can see my screen. Okay, I can see my screen.
I got you.
All right.
I see it now.
So, open.
Do you want me to go back and show you what it shows? Hold on. When it says open curriculum, that's all I get.
Well, but just click on open curriculum. You don't have to click on the arrow to the side. Just click the part that says open curriculum.
I thought I'd been doing that, but let me see. Okay.
There you go.
So I did that. Okay, but then okay, so then what?
So now, next to the one that says icebreaker,
right?
Click on launch.
Okay.
Not the arrow, just click on the word launch.
Oh, I think I'm hitting the arrow. That's what I'm doing. Okay. No wonder. Let me see if it works. Oh my gosh. Okay.
There you go.
All right, I've only been working on that for about 3 months.
You're learning.
That's okay. That's how it works. That's why we're here.
All right, well, let me make sure. Let me see. No, seriously, I really have been working on it, and it cannot be that simple. So let me just keep going. If the training doesn't load, click here to open it. See, it doesn't load.
Okay, we'll click there.
Okay.
Let me tell you a secret about computers. Sometimes you have to scare them by having somebody else watch you do something. There you go. There's your project.
Okay,
There
let
you
me
go.
do more button because this is kind of unbelievable. But okay, no, I've been here. I've been here also.
Okay.
And it won't let me. It still won't let me do it. I promise.
Won't let you do what?
Load anything.
Well,
Like
this
if I
is
wanna-
taking you through
my
the
speeches.
curriculum.
Okay.
You want to upload your speeches. You don't want to.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So we're in the wrong spot.
We're in the wrong spot. Yeah, I thought you needed to open your curriculum.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm trying to load my speeches up, and I haven't been able to do that.
So
Okay,
you want to
sorry.
load.
I didn't communicate that very well.
No,
Sorry.
that's okay. You want to like upload a copy of your speech. That's a beautiful bottle cap collection.
Oh, thank you. It's my future daughter-in-law did it for my son, and it's actually a flag somewhere.
I see that.
I know.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I know. I thought it was really creative. She did that in college.
Okay, so let's get back to where you want to be.
Okay. All right. Let me get back here. Let me switch camera. Okay.
Okay. So when go back to Toastmasters, go back to base camp.
Okay.
Okay. See the folder that says My Documentation?
Oh, actually, I'm not quite there.
Okay.
Be here. I'm at Effective Coaching. I got to go all the way back to base camp. Okay.
Yeah, you need to go back to the home of the base camp.
Okay.
It'll say, welcome,
Okay.
welcome to base camp, Leticia.
Yes, and I'm trying to get there and go to home. Okay, so I'm having the same home issue that you have sometimes, I guess. I can.
If you hover over home and then click below where it says home, that's the trick Pamela showed me.
Oh, thank you. You're right. It's still not wanting to do it. It doesn't. Let me just. Sometimes it's easier to just log back in.
Well, yeah.
But like, it's online.
And just to be clear, you want to see where to upload your speech.
Correct.
Once you've done.
I don't have my speeches saved on this computer. It's at my office, but
right. But we can still show you how to get there.
Yeah, I haven't been able to do it. Okay, so now I'm gonna be there in 1 second. Okay. Okay. Go to base camp. Okay, I'm here.
Okay. You're here? All right.
Well, give me a second. I pressed it and it's okay. Go to base camp. Right.
All right. So your screen looks like mine.
No, it says, oh, I was there. It says access my path through base camp. Let me do that. I'm one before that, but now I'll go to base camp. So that's where I was a minute ago. I'm sorry. But okay, so here.
So you're here. See the video? Go down below the video where it says My Documents.
Okay.
Click on My Documents.
Okay. Write this down.
And then for whatever level you're on, you open that folder. So if you're doing level 1, you'd open the level 1 folder.
Okay.
And see where it says Add File?
Yes.
Click on Add File. And you can either go search and select the document, or if you have it open in another window, you can drag it over.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. It's very helpful, Carolyn.
No worries. Somebody else have a question?
Yes, if you use those levels and you finished one pathway, then do you, for the next pathway, you just put it in those same folders, or you have to get new folders?
I believe that you can just store them in those same folders. I think when you go in there, it's going to put all your level 1 stuff in one folder and all your level 2 stuff in another. I don't think it separates them out by path, but let me see. It might. Home. Because that's in just your documents down here, it's not associated with a particular path. I think it's just gonna put it in there under the levels. But like in my document, so when I go in, my level 1, here is this is one that was done by Gwen Sullivan, and here's one for somebody else.
No, that's fine. I just keep them on my computer, so it's easier for me to get to.
And that's fine. That's fine. You can keep them on your computer. Questions? Any other questions?
Carolyn, this is Robert. I have a question on, I think it's a Zoom question. Like I just had my name. How do I get a picture up there?
Have you turned on your video? Oh, you mean a picture when
Yeah,
you're
like a
not,
still
when you don't have your
picture.
video on?
Yeah.
Well.
Like Charlotte has one.
Yeah, it's when you need a Zoom account. If you're using a guest, it won't let you do it. But if you have your own Zoom account, then it'll let you put a picture in. It's not something you can do within the meeting.
Okay, gotcha.
But if you create a Zoom, now you can create a free Zoom account and upload a picture, but you do have to have a Zoom account to have a picture.
Okay.
Carolyn, I have a question for you.
Okay.
In level 4, there's podcast, blog, online meeting. Are you all going to do anything for that?
Am I going to do anything for that?
Yes. Yes. For us to know how to do it.
Oh, for you to know how to do that. You want a class on that. Well, I think on all the evaluation forms and all the registration forms, it says, what else would you like a class on? I would suggest that you put in there whichever one of those you want to do, and they'll get somebody smarter than me to do a class on how to do a blog or how to do a podcast or how to do
online meeting, which is what you are doing.
The online meeting is what I'm doing right now. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
But yeah, that's you have that opportunity to tell them anything you want them to do a class on.
Okay.
All right. Well, we still have about 30 minutes if anybody has any other questions.
Well,
like
I'm going to share my screen again and see if I can come where you are right now. Is that okay?
See if you can get to the evaluation. Okay.
Oh, you
want to try to get to a path? I will stop sharing.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. And now how do I get just me here if I'm the speaker? Right now, 4 people here. So how do I get just me? Like you, but just you.
Okay. So change from gallery view to speaker view in the upper right-hand corner.
Okay, upper right-hand corner.
Of the Zoom screen.
I'm not seeing gallery view and speaker view here.
When you go near them, it should. So like right now, you're sharing the journey is more exciting than you have to be in the Zoom screen. Yep.
Okay, so what is this one that I'm looking at here?
Maria, you're just operating in your slideshow screen now.
Yeah, you're in your slideshow. You need to be in the Zoom screen.
I need to be. Okay, how do I get
now you're
screen now?
Stop sharing for just a second.
Okay, stop share. Yes.
Okay. Now, in this screen, what do you see? Do you see a big picture and little pictures across the top?
You are the big picture, and then on the top there are little pictures.
Okay. And what do you want to see when you're sharing?
When I'm sharing, I want to see my PowerPoint presentation, and at the side, just me.
Okay. So,
yeah.
On your picture, find your picture.
Yeah. I'm here on my picture.
Okay. do you see the little blue box with 3 little white dots?
Yes.
Click on that.
Okay.
And it will say pin.
Pin video. Okay.
There you go. So now you've pinned yourself.
Yes.
Now start sharing.
Okay. All right.
Okay, now go up to the top of the where it says view options.
View options.
Oh wait, you're sharing.
Yeah, I'm sharing.
You're sharing.
So before I share, I had to do that?
Yeah, see, because I think I have what you want. You want this. Oh, you can't see me because you pinned yourself. When you're presenting, you don't see the same thing that people see when they're watching.
Okay, so I unpinned myself just now.
Yeah, but when you're presenting,
yeah,
you don't have that side-by-side view like you do when I'm presenting.
Yeah.
That side-by-side view only works for you when somebody else is presenting, not when you're presenting.
Oh, okay.
When you're presenting, if you're going to see people, they'll either be off to the side in a group, or they may, if your presentation is taking up your whole screen, you're not even going to see the people because they'll be behind that presentation.
Okay. But how are you able to be there on the side and have the presentation?
How am I able to be there on the side and have the presentation?
Yeah.
Well, on your screen,
yeah,
I appear that way, but on my screen, I don't see that.
Oh, okay.
What you see and what I see are not the same.
So then what do I do? Do I just leave this one here and talk?
So unpin your video.
Okay, mine is unpinned right now.
So do you now see me? Can you see my, do you see?
No, I see me. I see me on the side.
You still see you on the side. Okay, stop sharing.
Okay, stop share. Yes.
Let me try to share. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, and trying to show you what you will see when you're a presenter is a challenge. So like right now, I am the presenter, and I am going to share. I'm sharing. You should be seeing like evaluation and feedback, right?
Yeah, I can see all little dots there and something else came up. Yeah, but evaluation and feedback, yes.
Okay, so you see evaluation and feedback. Now, what I see as the presenter is that on one screen, and on the other screen, I see my pictures of you guys. See, they're not in that side-by-side view. The people are broken out. And so if you only have one monitor, instead of having this over here, you're not going to be able to see it because it's behind what you're sharing. The only way I would be able to see that if I have one monitor is to make what I'm sharing smaller.
Yeah.
And then if you guys are on the same screen as that, see?
Yeah.
Then I can show both. And I'm not even sure to let me. Yeah, no. Once Zoom is on there, I'd have to do a lot of manual things to try to get the same thing that you get in side by side. I can get there, but it takes a lot more.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So then
that's now it's side by side, but when you're the presenter, it actually it doesn't look the same as it does to the people viewing.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I do presentations a lot, but I always see myself only in a little bitty thing. So when I saw yours side by side, that's what I thought I wanted to do. But if I can't do it, that's okay too.
Well, you can do it if you shrink the screens, if you make the screens smaller, minimize the screens.
Okay. Okay.
So to do that, what I did was and again, you're working on a Mac, so it's a little different, but when you're working in the, let me find my, up here, you know, where you have this, you can actually drag your boxes and make it bigger and smaller. So if I click on this,
Yeah.
and I share the screen,
Yeah.
but I can take this and take it off to the side. But to get it, I can't do that side-by-side feature like I showed you when you're watching.
Yeah.
I can recreate it by making this my presentation smaller on a single screen.
Okay.
But the reason I was able to see it side by side is because I have two screens.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Carolyn.
That was a little out of scope, but I think we're good. Phew. Anybody else? Any other questions? Alrighty then. My goal was to make sure everybody was in a path. I think everybody is now in a path. So give yourselves a hand. Congratulations.
You did a great job for 4 hours.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
You're just telling me I can talk for 4 hours.
There's a
That's all you're telling
survey
me.
in the chat if you want to give some feedback.
I'm sorry?
There's a survey that's now in the chat. If
Yes, there
anybody
is a
wants-
survey in the chat. And
Carolyn,
actually,
I want to share my screen. Is that okay?
yes, you go
Okay.
right ahead. I will stop sharing.
Thank you.
Elizabeth is going to put a link up for the survey as well. So you can either, if you have a barcode scanner, you can do that, or the Survey Monkey link that
Yeah, we
is
have
shared
it.
in the link.
We have it in the email already, I think.
You have it in the chat and you have the email. There you go. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Carolyn. Carolyn, you were amazing as always. We've all learned a lot. We all look forward to your next course. And thank you everyone here for taking your time out today and being here and sharing your knowledge. We appreciate all of you here. Please take the time for the feedback for Carolyn, and we will see you at our next course. Don't forget to go to our calendar page and register for as many as you would like. They're all free and they're all for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Joe.
Thank you very
Catching
much,
up.
Miss Elizabeth.
Yes, very nice seeing you.
Thank
Just
you.
catching up on the chat. It
seeing
looks
you.
like somebody's headed to London for a meeting.
Hi, Brent. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah, we had an area director, Salome Mokhtari from London,
Yes.
logged in all morning. So
Yeah, no, I saw.
Yeah.
We actually went out and found her club.
Yeah.
When we did the tour, we went out and found her club on the international website.
she's
Yeah,
the one
City
who
of
invited
London.
me to do club officer training over there.
She's what?
Oh, very cool.
She's the area director that invited me to present club officer training for them.
Oh, wow.
So I got to be a presenter on their call.
Very cool. Well, the next session will be a little smoother, but
We learn something new each time. Pam, you look very pretty. You should have kept your camera on. Very colorful blouse. Very nice.
At first, I wasn't very camera ready, but as the day went on, I actually got dressed. Yeah.
7:30 is early for me too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I wanted to.
So I had to wait
You were
for
excellent.
the bags under my eyes to subside and.
Carolyn, you were excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah, very good job.
Well, there's 100 things I would do different the next time. So, you know, it's a good thing there's a next time.
Yes, we're all learning. That's what it's all about.
So,
I think you accomplished your goal. You
well, like I said, my goal was to get people signed up. And when Elizabeth and I were talking, she was saying, you know, people were having trouble just following along. So that's why we started.